Now, we talked to head coach Steve Rice of the UNC Tar Heels earlier. Mentioned a couple other newcomers as well to look out for.
Yeah, Jack Sangster, the freshman, is one to keep an eye on. He's got 2 goals early on in the season as well. Not as many new faces for North Carolina as NC State has, a little bit more turnover. But on the NC State side, at least on the front end, what you're looking at is 2 pretty familiar faces. Yeah. And Zach Herman, Daniel Krasma, you mentioned talking to Coach Rice. Those were the 2 he singled out that he wanted to keep the puck away from.
Yeah, and really specifically Prasma and Herman, he said we have to keep their possession time low. Now, he doesn't want them getting a lot of the puck. He wants to take them out of the game. And as a head coach, that's something you always strive for. They more than likely game plan for that all of this week since he got back-to-back against them. The question is, what specifically did he do? Did he match them up when they go on offense? Did he try to make them a little bit uncomfortable, get physical with them? We know, especially Prasma, he could throw that shoulder around too, maybe take a penalty or 2, but the question is going to be, what is he going to throw at them?
Yeah, and then, of course, in a rivalry game, you need a good anchor behind you. Ethan Roberts should be that for the Ice Pack.
Yeah, he should. He's had a phenomenal season thus far. Unfortunately, a Blue Jays fan, he's not going to be able to watch those Jays in Game 1. But on the other side for UNC, Lucas Brown has been reliable this season for UNC in the last couple of years.
And he has experience in the rivalry as well. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, it'll be Grace Motto alongside Nick Perazzi here at Invisalign.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
We talk forever about the future. Worry about it, or wish it closer. We try to glimpse the places we'll go. From ocean depths to the far side of the moon. At NC State University, the future is a thing you make. With bright ideas, new tools, and a wolf pack behind you. Tell us where you're headed. We'll help you get there. NC State. Think and do.
When you look at me, you might see
a person with Parkinson's disease.
But if you look closer,
you'll see
a warrior mom,
an endurance athlete,
someone with a lot of fight.
Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson's Disease Association.
Look closer.
My spirit is unshakable. Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together to win. We all need a game plan to protect ourselves online. Talk to family and friends so they know how to stay safe too. Create strong passwords, turn on multi-factor authentication, update software, and recognize and report phishing. Because online safety is not something you want to fumble. Get more game-winning tips at cisa.gov/secure-our-world. Then share them with family and friends.
Well, I'm looking good. Thank you. Just became a Real ID. What's the plan? Impromptu road trip? Actually, the plan is to fly to New York for today's product launch, and then visit the family in California and cap it off with a girls' weekend in New Orleans. You really can just do all that. Sure, I'm a Real ID, so I'm good to board any domestic flight. Speaking of which, gotta fly. Nice. Enjoy. I'll be here.
Be your Real ID self today. To learn how, visit tsa.gov/Real ID or your local DMV.
I would never show my teeth. Never. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's going to take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
Back here in Invisalign Arena, Nick Perazzi now joined by Grace Mata. And Grace, we're going to get into our Perazzi points as they turn the lights off here at Invisalign Arena. It's the 1-year anniversary of the Perazzi points, Grace, and the theme that we had with them. So we're gonna, honor that anniversary. They're gonna be state fair themed. So the first one is gonna be Ferris wheel. NC State lost a game here in this building last year because they did not get a line change quickly in time. Second one, admit one, make your presence known. And specifically, Grace, you said Ethan Roberts is a name to watch. Will Smith made his name known last year, but Ethan Roberts tonight might make his name known.
Yes, in his game against Virginia Tech, Roberts stopped 38 out of 39 shots. And in special rivalry games like this, you really need to rely on your goalie like this. And he has stepped up in games like Liberty as well, so it'll be interesting to see him play tonight.
It'll be interesting to see how they feed off this energy. I can barely hear you, Grace. It's that loud in this sold-out Invisalign arena. The final Perazzi point, watch the fried food. There's 7 NC State players who have not played in this rivalry before. You can hear the energy in this building as UNC takes the ice tonight. There's going to be a lot of crowd factors in, a lot of emotions. We've seen huge fights already this season for NC State. We always see these two teams go at each other, but in a big rivalry game like a big rivalry game like this, Grace, it's going to be important for both teams to keep a level head.
And it's been a long 3 weeks. You can obviously tell the fans are really excited to be back here at Invisalign Arena. But UNC is coming off of 2 straight losses, with the Icepack coming off 2 straight wins against West Virginia, and some notable players netting their first goals. Will Smith, Buckley, and Connie. Hopefully, maybe they'll get another one tonight. Who knows?
Yeah, we will see. But again, got to throw all of that away in a rivalry game like this. When we come back, we're going to have Puck Drop for you from Invisalign Arena.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
I would never show my teeth. Never. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's going to take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
We're just about ready to drop the puck here in Mooresville, North Carolina. Chris Lehman and Nick Browsey back with you at Invisalign Arena. 20 minutes up on the clock for the first period, but before we drop the puck, let's take a look at our starting lineups. We'll start with the North Carolina Tar Heels. The visitors up front will start the top line of Patrick O'Shaughnessy, Daniel Cobber, and Will Smith. On the back end, Cam Guanick paired up with Drew Smith, and in the net is Lucas Brown. On the other end for NC State, they'll go with their top line as well. Captain Zach Herman centering Jake Gifford and Daniel Prasma. Tate Sodden and Andrew Thronson on the backside with Ethan Roberts between the pipes here in this rivalry matchup. Well, Nick, it's going to be a great one. It's already packed in here at Invisalign Arena, and I would imagine if NC State can get on the board early, the energy level is just going to go up.
But if you're the Tar Heels, Chris, you got to try to suck the life out of this building if you can early on. Make it a physical, grinding game. It can be boring hockey sometimes too, but get the emotions out of this crowd and make it hard for NC State to feel off of it.
Off the draw, O'Shaughnessy wins. Flip through the neutral zone and glove down by Gifford. He'll take it down the right side. Backhand try, just wide of the net. He'll be held in by Thronson, sent down deep. Picked up on the goal line by O'Shaughnessy. He's planted into the wall, puck comes loose. Cobber has it. His centering pass popped up in the air, knocked down, and it's Hilton who sends it in. Shot right back out by Tate Sodden. Gifford again, looking cross ice, able to find Thronson. A little bit of trouble with it, sweeps it to the middle, and the pass is intercepted and cleared by Will Hilton.
A good early pressure for NC State right now. Prasma misses that.
Good chance there for the Tar Heels. They'll get some zone time. Down low, sent in front, covered up quickly by Roberts, and we'll get our first stoppage 49 seconds in.
Chris, NC State going right at UNC in the offensive, and Gifford a quick backhand. Thronson flying down the ice trying to get a quick look. UNC had trouble getting out of their own zone, and a big part of this UNC team that Coach Steve Rice talked about that he wants to do is the forecheck. And right now they're having trouble trying to get out of their own zone and back check.
Puck in the corner, battle won by NC State. Kaufman pestered from behind there by Adam Zukowski. Ice Pack still able to break out. They can't possess the neutral ice though, as it's settled down by Kevin Long. They'll look up ice, stretch pass to Long, and NC State back the other way. Kaufman knocked down as he dumps it in. Zajic to it behind the goal. Moved across, Zukowski looking through the middle, intercepted by Ammons in the top of the slot. He'll take a shot, he scores! Top of the near circle, Jack Ammons gives NC State the lead.
Well, the freshman from Raleigh already has 4 goals now in 11 games. This is a start you want from NC State. Just a clear, open slot right in front of him, just right in the middle. UNC again having trouble get the puck out of their own zone, and the freshman delivers for NC State. And Chris, the top of this building nearly went off there on that goal. The energy in here is something I don't think we've ever seen before in Invisalign Arena.
As we mentioned, it's the first pre-sale sellout for NC State at Invisalign Arena. All 1,000 tickets that were available for sale outside of their season ticket members were sold before gates open. NC State right back to work, looking to capitalize on the energy they're getting from this crowd early. Heavy hitting in the corner. Coming away with it, Johnson looking to the middle for the goal scorer, Ammons. He's knocked off the puck. It'll be carried out by North Carolina, Jack Sangster. The freshman in the pregame has a couple of goals early in the season for North Carolina. Quick shot steered away by Roberts. North Carolina, despite giving up that goal, still getting some time in the offensive end, forcing NC State to defend.
And that's that forecheck Steve Rice was talking about, giving NC State a lot of headaches trying to clear the puck out of their own zone. And look at these line changes for UNC too, Chris. They're getting on and off the ice fairly quickly.
Pass picked off at the Carolina blue line. Owen Kenny shoots it behind the goal. Roberts there to play it along. Up the near wall, sidestepping a hit there was Gilmore. Couldn't come up with the puck, and it's shot into the netting behind the NC State goal.
Well, UNC has awoken after that goal that they quickly gave up. They're really playing with a lot more energy now, Chris. They're dominating the ozone time ever since, really, that face-off after the goal. Ammon's had a chance in front. UNC, though, playing great defense in terms of just getting stick to the puck, great poke checks, and that's causing NC State a lot of trouble in the offensive end as well as trying to get out of their own zone.
NC State controls again off the D-zone draw. Held onto by Cam Smith. He'll send it the length of the ice. This will be icing, and the Ice Pack will have to come back into their own end for another faceoff.
Yeah, and that's not going to help in terms of getting out of your own zone. We've seen NC State at times this season early on have trouble really early in games getting out of their own zone. And, it's like the same story, same chapter, just having trouble getting out of their own zone. They're up on the scoreboard right now. But again, the Tar Heels are just having great offensive zone time. They just can't find good looks.
Shaughnessy has won at least 2, if not 3 faceoffs now, won that one forward. Carolina on the attack, and the shot from the blue line is deflected. And we sent down the ice. NC State going to ice the puck again. And now you're going to start to see some tired legs for the Ice Pack as they can't change for a second time.
Yeah, you are, and it's that line.
It's a mismatch, too, of the lines.
Yeah, and it's NC State's fourth line out there, Gilmore, Paterson, and Gian Connie. And then also defensively, NC State running with just the same pair. Can't quite tell who's out there right now for them, but they're getting tired.
Zajic with the shot off the face-off. That one sticked wide by Roberts. NC State unable to clear. Oh, it just came out. We've got an offsides call. And the face-off comes out on top of the Ice Pack.
Yeah, and a wholesale change for NC State immediately. They're going to bring out that third line, Govea, Finch, Rady. And then they're also going to bring back Tate Sodden out there with Franz in that first D pairing. So a big break for NC State to get those legs out. They survive a good push from the Heels.
The Heels won that draw again. Finch, though, forces it down into the Tar Heel end. Here's Aiden Rady. The shield off a stick check, just throws it to space. Chased down by Finch. One-timer sent into the glass behind. NC State starting to get some forecheck pressure. Up the wall, pinching in Thronson, holds for the moment. It'll be picked up by O'Shaughnessy. He'll head man for Smith. Into the zone, Will Smith puts it on goal. Roberts handles easily, and we've got another face-off and a little extra pushing and shoving after the whistle, too.
That's the first time we've seen some extracurriculars. I only expect that to pick up as the night goes on, and really tomorrow as well, Chris, when these two teams go to Greensboro. But if you're NC State right there, you got a couple good looks, but a great defensive play by Florian Zajic right in front of the net. Good stick work. Austin Finch couldn't really get a puck to him there because of Zajic.
The Tar Heels give them a lot of credit. They have been the better team since NC State scored. Another shot that Roberts sees all the way. 16-14 left in this first period. Shots are 5-1 Tar Heels. The only problem for the visitors is the only shot they've given up went in the net.
And they're getting good looks now. They're getting a lot of deflections in front of the net.
Shot from Ansbacher ends up just wide of the net. Pardon me, Mansard with the shot there. NC State takes the rebound, and Gifford will gain the red line and shoot it in. Chopped up the wall. It gets over the outstretched glove of Gifford and out of the zone. Franson goes D-to-D. Sondon sends it in and lays a nice reverse hit in the process on Matt Grady. Herman now in the far corner, looking for Thronson. Through his skates and out of the zone. NC State will have to regroup in their own end.
NC State passing-wise, Chris, I think especially up top, they're just having a little trouble connecting on these passes a little bit.
Here's Herman all alone. Button hooks in the corner, looking for some support. Reinforcements not there on the centering pass, though. NC State back in control. Dahlin looking forward, deflected by Herman to Prasma at the line. He'll be dispossessed, and Gingra will take over. Gingra pestered there by Prasma, able to force it forward to who? Played along for Ansbacher, got away from him and into the corner. Loose puck picked up by Johnson. trying to step away, poked off his stick, but there's Kaufman to play it forward, and Ammons is offsides. The pass just didn't quite get there in time. And the face-off comes out in the neutral ice.
NC State's starting to get out of their own zone right now. How about that little pickup, though, from Kaufman? It looked like that puck was really lost, and then just offside Ammons. That pass just did not have enough juice on it. Tried to hold it back, but he also wanted to keep going because he had a good one-on-one opportunity.
North Carolina controlling the face-off circle right now. They win another draw. They'll get it deep. Roberts setting it up behind the goal, decides to shoot it around the wall. They'll fight for it in the corner. Played back around. Johnson takes control for NC State, absorbs a hit, turns into a four-man scrum now. Kaufman in support for the Ice Pack. And it's 3-on-2 in favor of the black jerseys. A little over 5 minutes gone in this first period. NC State just one shot. It's the only goal of the game as Roberts makes a glove save on Hilton. That's the 6th shot for the Tar Heels. They're still trying to break through.
Yeah, and I think what UNC's trying to do, Chris, they're shooting a lot of these pucks from the point, and there's a lot of traffic in front of Roberts, whether it's white jerseys, whether it's black jerseys. But I think you want more white jerseys there to get the deflections. The problem for UNC, though, is NC State's doing a good job of keeping them out of the middle. They're screening their own goalie, but they're preventing any tip-ins and deflections that UNC may have.
NC State wins the face-off here in their own defensive zone. They'll work to break it out up the near side. Held in by Smith at the blue line. Couple of players tangled up in the slot. NC State has a player that is slow to get up. That was a rough fall. I'm waiting to see a number. I'm not sure who it is.
Chris, from the corner of my eye, that looked like just two players running into each other. It's Nick Lapani. There's going to be Jake Lapani.
It looks like he is going to at least start to get up of his own accord. And now he'll skate to the bench. We'll see. Keep an eye on him. Here's another look at the play in front.
Watch the middle in front. There goes Lapani towards the middle. Oh, he just lost an edge. I think Gutman lost an edge, and then it looked like very much like a soccer slide tackle almost, but it was not intentional at all. Just got it tied up there, and you hope Lapani's all right.
Yeah, hopefully just had the wind knocked out of him. Face-off in front of the NC State goal. Ice Pack win it. Start the breakout up the far side. Sun move forward. Played along now for Patterson. He's got Gilmore into the zone down the left wing. Smith on him. Gilmore held up in the corner. Trying to move it up the wall. Plays it back down. NC State able to support there, and they'll have to restart the neutral zone. Sun shoots it in deep one more time. Down into the near corner. Tar Heels to it, but losing an edge. Centering pass. Deflects back out to the top of the circle. Gilmore beat to the puck by Hilton. He'll carry forward. Plays it in on Roberts. Pads it over to the far wall. Back behind the goal, O'Shaughnessy wins the race to it. Plays it into that far corner. Sun is there. His breakout pass intercepted. Tar Heels with a good forecheck here. Cobber's shot doesn't get through. And it'll deflect out into neutral ice, where it can be played back in by Kevin Mock.
And a much-needed change for NC State. Had a good chance the other way, but Chris, a lot of the deep pairings for NC State playing conservative when that puck is loose in front of them, deciding just to skate back on defense rather than risk a breakaway opportunity for UNC.
NC State will move it forward. Here's Govea up the left wing. He'll play it around his defenseman in Pye there. Tripped up and lost control. Good play on the forecheck, though, by Finch. Back down low. Govea plays it through the slot. Couldn't connect there with Finch. It's cleared out by the Tar Heel defense. Lifted right back in by Sodden. It'll be tracked down now by Andrew Pye.
Austin Finch doing a great job forechecking for NC State. He's giving UNC a lot of trouble breaking out.
O'Shaughnessy, Tar Heel captain, looking to the middle. He has Cobber shot through traffic. Hits Sodden. Another block shot there by Finch, and it'll ricochet over to the near side for Aiden Rady. Rady through the neutral zone quickly. Will trickle it in on goal. Brown hands it off for Pye. 12:20 left in the first period. 1-0 NC State. They've got just 2 shots on goal to North Carolina's 7. That shot skitters wide for Zukowski. Played back behind. Zukowski takes a hit. The puck out in front. Gingra's shot elevated over top. Roberts down into the butterfly, but was able to stand tall.
Yeah, he was, but man, Chris, UNC just an onslaught of shots on goal right now. That last one from Cobber on the previous offensive trip just got blocked in front. But look how many white jerseys open right in front of the slot. And you're right, Chris. If you get a little less elevation on that, maybe stick out there in a deflection, it's easy 1-to-1. But you look behind that. You have 2 jerseys open in the slot there too. So NC State's got to do a much better job in terms of watching where UNC players go on opportunities like that, because that slot is getting wide open for the Heels.
Yeah, once the Tar Heels have gotten their forecheck established, it's been really difficult for NC State. They do break out here. Gifford skates it in himself, dragging it through his legs, trying to work around Javier Campbausch. Now Prasma forced out in front, jammed away there. Penalty coming up on the Tar Heels, and NC State will get the first power play. It is a hooking call. 11:40 to go in the period.
And that hooking call, if that hooking infraction's not made, then I believe it's going to be on Bansauer. Now, if he doesn't make that play, Chris, it's a really good opportunity for a goal or a pass for a potential goal. You're going to take a look at it here. And yeah, just get that stick tied up. It was a good defense play by Campbausch as well, but to the power play goes the Ice Pack, who have been really good at home this year, Chris.
Here's Thronson as NC State controls the draw to start the man advantage. Prasma elevated across for Herman. His pass hits a skate. Now Thronson back to Prasma, looking for Johnson. It squirts through to Herman, looking for a tip from Govea, but Brown got a stick to it. Johnson again. Down low, Prasma swept across. Nobody in the low slot. Loose puck hacked out of the zone by Sangster. And the Tar Heel penalty kill gets a little bit of relief.
I think Florian Zajic wanted to get a quick switch there. I believe Drew Smith to get him on the ice. That's NC's best defensive man. Good job from the Heels, keeping the puck in NC State's own end. About 40 seconds gone now. And, we see at times NC State's power play has looked amazing, and then there's times where it's just looked flat.
Prasma with speed to Govea. One-touch pass looking for Herman, who was tied up, and it'll be cleared down the ice by Drew Smith.
Here comes that line change for UNC. Just Zajic and O'Shaughnessy go out there. It's your best defensive offensive man, and of course your best defender. NC State going to try to break out again for their own zone. They have a lot of set plays that they do in practice that they get these opportunities from.
Here's Johnson down the left wing, stops at the hashes, looking up top, nobody there at the blue line, and he clears it for the Tar Heels. Down to 41 seconds left on the man advantage. It was a good start, but since losing the zone, NC State has struggled. Here's Gifford. Looking to the middle, finds a teammate there. Shot, rebound, bouncing around in front. NC State unable to put it home. It was Ammons with the initial shot. He's got it behind the goal. His pass out front, disrupted and cleared by O'Shaughnessy. That's going to do it for most of this power play. Maybe one more push for the Ice Pack.
Ammons just had to wait a little too long on that puck to settle down and shoot it. Otherwise, I don't know if Brown gets across in time. That was a great look.
There's Darlene along for Gilmore. Looking to the middle. I think he wanted Brady there and couldn't connect. Now the Tar Heels will skate it out. Power play over for NC State. Quick shot transition elevated over top by Grady. But the Tar Heels going to come in on the forecheck. It has worked so well here in the first half of this first period. Down behind the goal, Gingra. Works it back up top. Zajic with the shot. Seen by Roberts all the way, and he'll go on for another faceoff. Roberts has been tested plenty. 10 shots now, and he's stopped them all.
And there's been about 5 or 6 shots that have gone wide that haven't been on net that Roberts has had to be ready for. I mean, UNC right now is outplaying NC State at about 90% of all capacity in this game. And the crowd got taken out a little bit there after that first goal. You're still down on the scoreboard, but a lot of momentum for UNC. A lot of good stuff to build on. Can they just capitalize? Is the question.
NC State looking to break out. It'll be Ben Patterson through the neutral zone. Crosses in. Has it knocked off his stick. Zajic will shovel it out of the zone. Or pardon me, that was Campbausch. And now the Tar Heels in control. Gingra stretching it out for Grady. This is going to be icing with 8:56 to go.
This is going to be NC State's best opportunity, really even outside of that power play. It's really the first goal that they had, or that Ammon shot on the power play, because there hasn't been many. And they're going to run with that. Holden Kaufman in mind. They're going to run with line 2. That's got the goal tonight for them. This is a good opportunity for NC State with tired bodies for the Heels out there to try to capitalize, but the face-off circle, Chris, has been a struggle for NC State tonight.
There it is again. Tar Heels control off the draw. They'll skate it out. Gingra down the right wing. Marked there by Smith. Looking things over. Gingra at the blue line. Switches spots with Pye. Takes the shot. Blocked there by Cam Smith. NC State trying to work it out of the zone. Ammons to Kaufman. Then Eventually, it'll be worked out by Lapani. Good to see him back on the ice after that collision earlier. 8.5 left in the first period. NC State defensively banks one out of the zone. Still struggling to control the neutral zone. Here they go, though. Johnson looking to the middle. Can't connect with Ammons. It's intercepted by Ansbacher, who takes it out with speed. He's got a man coming with him in Sangster. Ansbacher's shot blocked by Sodden. And he'll be pinned to the wall over on the far side. Tar Heels have the reinforcements there, though. Lifted behind the goal. Ansbacher wins the race there over Lapani. Two will battle along the boards now. Squirts loose for Prasma. Forward for Johnson. He's going to skate it in. Floats it now along. Prasma has it knocked out of his skates in a way. Sangster trying to clear. Prasma being a pest, though, not giving the Tar Heels a lot of space. Finally, chip it up and out. Here's Gifford. Nobody in the middle of the ice. It's intercepted by Owen Kenny. Bank it off the wall, looking for Glonick. That one's off the mark. Thronson now. Cross ice. Connects with Gifford off the wall, who takes a heavy hit there from Hilton. That separates his man from the puck. Tar Heels back the other way. Shot coming, deflected off the stick of Sodden and out of play for Owen Kenny. 7:15 left in the period. Still 1-0 NC State.
Yeah, look at this hit that Will Hilton's about to deliver on the left side. It goes across, and then Hilton just says, I'll just take the hit. And then his teammate, Daniel Wu, just says, I'll take the puck as well. But, you know, Chris, right now, you can see how physically NC State, they're having the crisper passes. You know, they look like the better team, but the scoreboard right now tells you otherwise.
And that's part of why NC State has such a good record this season. They're getting results even when they're not playing at their highest level. Shot through traffic, deflected wide. Sodden has it. He'll shovel it off the glass and out. Poked forward by Rady, but it'll be high over to play it. Zajic off the boards, but not out. Finch has his pass intercepted, and now O'Shaughnessy skates it back the other way. He'll carry it into the zone. Takes the shot, handled by the glove of Roberts, but he couldn't hold on to it. It'll be chipped out. Now NC State bringing it back up. This is Govea, waiting for reinforcements. Top of the circle, he takes the shot, and it rises over the crossbar. Darlene swings one towards goal. That hits a skate. In the corner, Rady touches it back behind the goal. Govea knocks his man down, looking out in front. That pass swatted away. Mason Payne up top has a shot, hit shins. O'Shaughnessy trying to skate it out and can't. The second attempt. Glove down now by Govea and kept in. Good sequence here for the Ice Pack. Payne plays it down low. Nobody in the corner. Zajic pokes it along. Darlene holds the zone. His shot shouldered down by Brown. It's loose in front. The Tar Heel defense cleans it up, and now their captain skates it out. Shaughnessy gains the line, shoots it in. Tar Heels need a change.
That's the first really chaotic sequence NC State has had offensively, and UNC survived. There are a couple of great looks in front, loose pucks in front as well. Brown kept his cool in front. The defense did their job, and they've got some fresh legs back out there.
NC State right back to work in the offensive end. Mason Payne pinching in. Some support from Patterson. Down low now, Gilmore loose in the slot. It works its way back up top, and Darlene fans on it. He gets knocked down. The Tar Heels have support moving forward. Glonick head manning for Gutman. He's unable to corral, and now NC State will work it back. Pace of play starting to pick up for both teams. Here's Darlene. Spin to the wall. High, and the Tar Heels able to escape the zone. Approaching the final 5 minutes of this first period, the goal by Jack Ammons came just a minute, 21 seconds in. It still stands, deflected on goal. Brown makes the save, loose along the side of the net. Grab chances there at the post. Patterson can't put it home, and now NC State will try and hold the zone. Pitching in, Sun does initially, but the second attempt from Hilton is out. And it'll be all the way down for icing with 4:49 to go.
Well, there was chaos in front. Peterson took a big hit behind the net as well, Chris, because UNC thought that Brown had that puck and he knocked it away from him. It's loose. It's right there, and it went off the skate of Zukowski. Then watch Zukowski comes in. Little 7-on-7 action between the two number 7s we have tonight. And he says, hey, don't touch my goalie like that.
Well, NC State with a rare offensive zone faceoff here in this first period. It'll be Kaufman on the draw for the Ice Pack. Gingro wins it for North Carolina. Tar Heels trying to break out. Sun knocks Zukowski down and holds the zone. Gingra in the corner with it. Plays it back to Zukowski, who will skate it into neutral ice. Throw it off the wall and back to NC State's defense. Lapani shoots it in. Icing waved off. Johnson first to it. He'll be knocked down behind the goal. Picked up by NC State's Ammons with the lone goal tonight. At the blue line, Sun's shot doesn't make it through. Along the wall, Ammons again. Backhanded across, finds Lapani. One-timer pad save Brown. Ammons fires it back. It pinballs through, but not on goal. Here's Kyler Sun. Dusts it off, and then fans on the dump in. It'll be cleared out by the Tar Heels.
NC State again, I think that was a squandered opportunity in the offensive zone. They've started to get more looks than the Heels, but that's a bad turnover in the D zone.
Shot from the high slot, easily handled by the glove of Roberts. Jack Sangster with the shot there, 3:51 to go in the period.
Yeah, and again, we talked about the freshman from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Jack Sangster, in the pregame. Very crafty player offensively is what head coach Steve Rice told us. How about the defense there as well? Only guy forechecking against 3 or 4 black jerseys. Wins the puck, gets a little sneaky shot on goal as well.
NC State clears the zone off the draw. Kevin Ma first to it. Herman there on the forecheck, can't hold the zone. Sangster with it, looking forward for Ansbacher. Second try across ice for Daniel Hu. NC State able to knock him off the puck. Here's Sodden trying to chip it up and out. That fails. Support from behind from Gifford. He'll skate it out. Forward for Prasma. That misses his stick. Carolina back in control, but the stretch pass misses everybody. Face-off will come back down on icing.
Trying to see what NC State's going to do line-wise. I mean, they've got their top forward group out there. They've got their top defensive group out there, and they didn't really play much, so it's a no-brainer to keep them out there. And if you're NC State, again, they've squandered a couple opportunities in the offensive end. A rare O-zone draw for them. It starts in the circle, though, and again, Chris, you just can't control off the draw.
Tar Heels able to clear the zone. Unable to possess it out, though. Brought in by Sodden. He'll shoot it around the wall. Kevin Ma first to it. Pressure from Prasma. Loose puck picked up by the Tar Heels again. O'Shaughnessy can't clear. NC State back in control. It's Gifford. He finds Thronson across. Sodden, one-timer. Rebounds there, and it hops the stick of Herman in the near circle. And now the Tar Heels trying to clear. Thronson holds the line near side. Zajic having trouble with Herman on him. A retreat behind the goal. Ansbacher knocked down. Thronson takes it away. Loose puck in the circle. Zajic played to Ansbacher. He's got space. Headman pass finds O'Shaughnessy. Dangerous player on the ice for the Tar Heels. His shot blocked away by Ethan Roberts. They'll fight for it in the near corner now. Pass up to the blue line. Chipped right back in. It's Manser on the play there. Now Prasma up ice for NC State. Knocked away by Cam Bosch, and now NC State has to check up on the delayed offside.
Yeah, I actually thought NC State might have gotten away with it there. I thought it might have bounced off the player's back. It didn't. He play on, but that chance for NC State in front of the deflection to Herman. But Prasma doesn't break his stick. He might be right there for the rebound.
Shot in, steered away by Roberts. Under 2 minutes left in this first period. Payne finds Finch up that right side. He'll skate it to the red line and dump it in. Behind the net, Brown gets to it first. Shot up the wall, intercepted by Rady. Throws it on goal, off a skate, steered away by Brown. Now we've got a penalty coming up. Might have actually hit someone on the North Carolina bench, I think. That or the net might have came off. One of those two was not a penalty. I thought initially we might have seen a cross-check.
Yeah, it looked like he signaled cross-check, but his hands were open. I think he was just pausing play, and they're going to get that stick that Prasma broke out of play. It's been a while, but look at this chance in front again. On
there you see it, the net comes off just a hair.
Good work by our director, Carl.
So it'll be Govea on the draw for NC State. Blocker side of Brown. Gingra to take the face-off for the Tar Heels. Rady. Quick shot on goal, easily handled by Brown. Behind the goal, Govea circling, shooting off the pads of Brown. He swept into the corner by the Tar Heels and kept in by NC State's Govea. Zukowski with plenty of space to skate it out. He'll shoot it in from center ice. Roberts plays it around to the near side. NC State looking to clear. Gouveia looking to the middle. It's intercepted by Hilton. Just over a minute left in the first. The NC State blue line, Patterson takes it up with speed. He'll bring it in, slide it on goal, and Brown covers up with 55 seconds
Patterson's
to go.
got to be careful. It's the second time he's kind of thrown a stick in there while Brown's trying to cover up. First time he didn't cover up, this time he did. No action taken from UNC this time because Zukowski's on the ice again. And he's the one that issued the big hit after the first one that Patterson did.
Ingram and Patterson on this face-off. North Carolina wins and clears. 50 seconds to go. Sun on the race there with Grady. They get into the corner at the same time. Tar Heels come away with it. Centering pass from Gingra. Misses all the sticks. Back out in front, and it pops up over the goal. Couple of dangerous chances. Now Grady with a one-timer wide. Couple of good chances in there for North Carolina. Glove down now by Patterson. Looking forward for Connie. They can't connect. Tar Heels back the other way. It's Gingra again. He's manufactured a couple of chances here on this sequence. Under 20 seconds left in the period. NC State up 1-0 on North Carolina, who has carried a good portion of the play here in the first. Now Ansbacher. Back up top for Drew Smith. His shot deflects wide and out of play with 2.5 seconds to go.
Well, for a good portion of that period after NC State took the lead, it was all Tar Heels. They dominated every facet. But Chris, that mark from about 7 to 2 minutes, NC State kind of controlled play, and since then it's been about 50-50 in favor of the Heels. This game's getting into a good groove, but one thing that UNC's done well that they can hang their hat on for this period is they're going to pull the goalie here with just 2.5 seconds to go, which I think is a smart idea.
Yeah, there's not really enough time for NC State to shoot the puck the length of the ice and score, so they're going to go for the extra attacker here. It'll be O'Shaughnessy on the draw against NC State's Kaufman. That's one forward. O'Shaughnessy misses wide, and that will finish off period number 1. So it's the early tally, Nick, that is the difference maker right now for NC State.
Yeah, Jack Amons is the difference maker. But again, Chris, if you're UNC, there's a lot to be proud about that period. Now, last time they were in this building, they were down 4-1 at the end of the first period. They came back and won that game. This time you're only down 1-0. Of course, a new squad for each team, but one thing before we got interrupted by that face-off, one thing UNC did really well that period, they took the crowd out of that game a really, really good bit, Chris. And NC State couldn't generate a lot because UNC smothered NC State a good bit of play. They carried pace of play, and we haven't really seen the crowd get energized since then.
Yeah, and I think the other thing to your point there is NC State scored a minute and 21 seconds in. The crowd was in it, and then North Carolina was able to slow things down and kind of take the crowd out of it a bit. So a good start for North Carolina in terms of the first period. Didn't, I'm sure, like giving up the early goal, but they're right there in it with 40 minutes still left in this one. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll have the goal scorer, Jack Amons, joining us during the first intermission. 1-0.
Welcome back to Invisalign Arena. I'm Grace Motto, joined by IcePack freshman Jack Ammons, who opened the scoring in the first period. Jack, first goal off the first shift and in your first rivalry game. Can you walk us through how you're feeling tonight?
Yeah, it feels good. It's a big game, so it's good to get the first goal and kind of get a jump start on the rivalry team.
And it's been a long 3 weeks since you guys have played at home. And can you walk us through what kind of happened on the road? We saw in your game against Delaware, it was kind of a penalty-ridden game, and you guys lost your footing, splitting the series. So.
Yeah, Delaware we split, had one good game, and then let our emotions get the best of us in the second game, and then we did good at West Virginia, going 2-0, and now it's good to be back home with all the fans. That's always nice to hear them.
So you guys enter the second period with the lead. How are you going to try to bring the fans right back into it?
I think we just got to be aggressive. We got to use our body more. They're getting too many shots off, so we need to get in front of some shots and just play in their end, and I think we'll get more goals.
Well, thank you, Jack. I'm Grace Motto, and we'll be right back after this.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
We talk forever about the future, worry about it, or wish it closer. We try to glimpse the places we'll go, from ocean depths to the far side of the moon. At NC State University, the future is a thing you make, with bright ideas, new tools, and a wolf pack behind you. Tell us where you're headed. We'll help you get there. NC State. Think and do.
When you look at me, you might see
A person with Parkinson's disease.
But if you look closer,
You'll see
A warrior mom.
an endurance athlete.
someone with a lot of fight.
every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson Disease Association.
Look closer.
My spirit
Is unshakable.
Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together to win. We all need a game plan to protect ourselves online. Talk to family and friends so they know how to stay safe too. Create strong passwords, turn on multi-factor authentication, update software, and recognize and report phishing, because online safety is not something you want to fumble. Get more game-winning tips at CISA.gov/secure-our-world. Then share them with family and friends.
Well, I'm looking good. Thank you. Just became a real ID. What's the plan? Impromptu road trip? Actually, the plan is to fly to New York for today's product launch, and then visit the family in California and cap it off with a girls' weekend in New Orleans. You really can just do all that. Sure, I'm a real ID, so I'm good to board any domestic flight. Speaking of which, gotta fly. Nice. Enjoy. I'll be here.
Be your Real ID self today. To learn how, visit tsa.gov/realid or your local DMV.
I would never show my teeth. Never. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's going to take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
1-0 after 20 minutes here at Invisalign Arena. Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi with your own Grace Motto just spoke with the goal scorer, Jack Ammons of NC State. And Nick, Jack got NC State off to a perfect start, steals one in the high slot, puts it past Lucas Brown in less than a minute and a half in. NC State had the lead. That's exactly what you want with the kind of crowd you have here tonight.
Yeah, it is. And you want to harvest that energy early on, exactly what NC State did. But then 2 seconds after that goal, that crowd energy slowly dissipated because the UNC Tar Heels did a fantastic grade A job in terms of forechecking. Textbook in every really direction and dimension that you can even talk about, and sucked a lot of the life out of this building despite a 1-0 IcePack lead. And overall though, up until about the 6-minute mark left in the first period, it was all Tar Heels.
Yeah, and you look at one of the things, or the two things really, that where you took away from the conversation with Coach Rice before the game for the Tar Heels was good forecheck. We've seen that. And then keeping it away from, in particular, the skill guys like Daniel Prasma and Zach Herman. We didn't say Prasma or Herman's name all too much in that first period. So even though they're down, it was, really a textbook period for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, it was. And, I mentioned keeping Prasma and Herman away. Well, you do that by having a good forecheck and not letting them even break it out across center ice. Yeah. Just a fantastic job from UNC, but about the last 5 or 6 minutes, NC State flipped things for a couple minutes, and then we got to around 50-50 even play. I'm interested to see what NC State does to adjust that UNC forecheck going into the second period. Now, when Grace was talking to Jack Ammons, one of her questions was, how do you get that crowd back into it? And he said, we just got to go out there, be physical, play a little harder. And, I think that's going to be a part of it, too. I think NC State needs to rely a little bit as well on some of the fans when they come out of this period, too. Harvest some energy and even bring it on the bench as well.
Well, we talked a lot about kind of the shortcomings of NC State. Defensively, though, they're doing a pretty solid job.
Yeah.
Ethan Roberts has stopped 15 of 15. A lot of that, he's a good goaltender, but a lot of that because NC State kept the puck out of the slot, out of those danger areas, and most of the shots that Roberts faced, he could see from a mile away.
Yeah, and those shots that he couldn't, it's from the slot, from up high, and an NC State defender in front. There's about, 28 shot attempts from UNC. We've seen a lot of blocks from NC State, a lot of just misses from UNC. They're testing Roberts a lot. He's locked in right now, Chris. If you're NC State, you can't rely on him too much. You want to alleviate some of that pressure, but right now, you've got a rock back there in net.
Yeah, you certainly need that in a game like this. Roberts has been exactly what they needed. The question will be, how does that top line get going in period number 2? We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll look ahead at the second 20 minutes. After 20, 1-0 NC State.
here in Invisalign Arena. Nick Perazzi, now joined by Grace Mata. And Grace, at the end of that first period, kind of saw some on-the-fly adjustments. UNC was in their D zone for a good bit. NC State created a lot of chaos, and it was the Tar Heels for the end of that period, struggling to get out of their own zone.
If you're NC State, you're in the clear right now. You know, the popular saying is forecheck, backcheck, paycheck, and we saw that paycheck with a quick forecheck off the first shift and ended up with a goal from Jack Ammons. So I feel like if you really want to keep the lead and, you know, being 1-0 going into the second period, that boosts morale by a lot. Yeah. And if you're NC State, right off the faceoff, you're going to want to make sure your forecheck is ready to go.
Yeah, and you mentioned faceoffs. That's where they've kind of struggled a little bit. Patrick O'Shaughnessy for UNC, he's done a fantastic job in the faceoff dot. NC State's struggling to control those pucks, you know, right off the faceoff dot, especially when they're in their own D zone. And you know, I think UNC, the first part of that period, you know, they had the forecheck, backcheck, paycheck, if you will, but unfortunately, they don't have a paycheck on the scoreboard right now. Do you expect UNC to change anything up at all?
I feel like when we were talking to UNC's coach before the game, he was saying that they're trying to limit puck possession for players like Prasma, Herman, and those are key players, but you don't really see them talking about the players that pass to them. But we'll have to wait and see how UNC adjusts.
Yeah. Well, we've got another 20 minutes of hockey coming up here from Invisalign Arena. 1-0 NC State as it stands right now.
I would never show my teeth. Never. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's going to take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Why are sandwiches so much better hot?
I don't know. Why does everyone love summer or hot gossip? Hotter is just better.
Oh, don't forget about hot ovens. Or hot peppers.
Hot springs, hot chocolate.
Hot sandwiches.
Ooh.
Hot soup, hot air balloons. Hot yoga.
I get it. Hotter is better.
Or hot melted cheese.
Sorry. Potbelly, we bring the hot.
Happy birthday, Max.
Yes! I'm Joan the Phone, here to show you 4 easy ways to stay safe online. Come on. We can secure our world when you choose your passwords. Make them strong. Use a password manager to help you along. But don't just use a password alone. Get a call, get a text, or a code on your phone.
MFA really works.
We can secure our world. When it's time to update an app, don't you hesitate. Do it ASAP.
Just like that.
Watch out for offers too good to be true. What? It's probably someone trying to take advantage of you.
Hey, that's fishy.
Let's report it. Install updates. Make better passwords. Think before you click. Use multiple factors. That's how we can secure our world. Learn more at CISA.gov/secure our world.
For each life moment, your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. Your kids may be eligible now, even if you've applied before. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Get started now at insurekidsnow.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
Ready to start the second period here at Invisalign Arena. Chris Lehman and Nick Perazzi back with you as the two teams swap ends. NC State in those home black uniforms will move left to right here in the second in the white. North Carolina moving right to left. And Nick, as we talked about, North Carolina, other than not putting anything on the scoreboard, and then a little bit of a bad turnover in their own end that led to a goal. They've looked really good.
Yeah, they have. And, last 4 minutes, you don't really want to talk about if you're UNC, in terms of what they did defensively. Offensively, though, everything's there. You just got to find the back of the net. And I think, that intermission break is really good for them. And I think, they're going to make some small tweaks that might actually end up getting them a couple of pucks in the back of the net. But, as this game goes on, you mentioned Roberts 15 of 15. Can they solve E-Rob?
And I think most importantly, they're going to have to find a way to get in front and take away his eyes a bit. Face-off at center ice, won by the Tar Heels. They won the majority of the draws in the first period. They'll get it deep to start, try to get back to that really potent forecheck they had in the first period. Sodden steering it around. Brady into the wall by Smith. Back for Sodden and around with Ronson. Finch just along for Govea. He'll shoot it wide of the net. Icing waved off as he gained the red line. Carry on. Govea trying to sweep it out in front. It's taken away by North Carolina. Floated up into Troy Smith. Left off for O'Shaughnessy. Step around Sodden, ties him up. Move back forward. It's caught up in the skates of Govea. Smith has it, holds the line. Ronson knocks down the dump in and shoots it out. Brady now in a race with Hilton. Wins it for the Tar Heels, able to outlet for Copper. Forward to Gingrich. Will gain the line, walking in, thinking about the shot, puts it on goal. I'm not sure if Roberts actually made the save or if it hit Thronson. But that's exactly what you're talking about there, taking away the eyes of Roberts. Good chance for the Tar Heels.
And that was Daniel Cobber right in front. Almost got a little too close there to Roberts, but a lot of traffic in front. Can't get Roberts to see. I think that's how you solve them if you're the Tar Heels.
Clearance for North Carolina all the way down. Icing waved off. The two teams tried to play it around the red line. The Tar Heels a chance to set up. Zukowski up for Zajic walking the line. Thrown to traffic, pad save, Roberts. Starting to see some quality shots from the Tar Heels here with bodies in front. There's another one save. Roberts rebounds there and he seals it off low to make the save. A rainbow clearance will alleviate pressure for now as NC State able to change with their bench on the other side of the red line here in the second. Gingrich will dump it deep. Brady into the high slot. It skips off the stick of Zukowski and out. Send it right back in. NC State with some time trying to get a few fresh legs out there.
How about UNC, Chris, causing a lot of chaos in front of Roberts? And again, traffic's going to beat him too, but chaos too can.
Herman trying to hack it out in front. That pass denied. Carolina with numbers in the corner. It'll be pitchfork all the way down and on goal, so no icing. Cam Smith has it caught up in his skates. Some pressure from Hu. Back behind the goal, it's loose for Kaufman to pick up. Now NC State can break out. Prasba, this is the pass behind him. It's shot right back in by the Tar Heels. NC State still trying to make a couple of changes. Gifford and Prasba out on the ice. Prasba now off. Ammons in his place, carries it in. Backhand pass to the middle, intercepted. The Tar Heels making it out to neutral ice. Here's Johnson. Lifts it into the zone. 3 minutes gone in the second period. Had a whistle since the start of the period. Good flow here to this game. Sangster will shoot it in and go off for a change. Now Roberts will cover it up. 3 minutes and 12 seconds into the period.
UNC played A+ hockey coming out of that break, Chris. They are making Roberts really uncomfortable in the net, playing good defense as well. NC State again, that first line specifically, just having troubles connecting passes, especially as they move into the O zone. And it's not really what UNC is doing. It's kind of just self-inflicted wounds a little bit, if you will.
So offensive zone draw. Won by NC State and cleared. Giancani got a piece of it. It'll trickle down into the Tar Heel end where it can be swept up by Drew Smith. He's just going to pick up speed to the neutral zone. Shoots it in. Delayed offsides for North Carolina. I'm not sure what exactly Gutman was doing down there for so long.
Him and Lapani were back in that corner. I didn't really bat an eye to it. I mean, they were well out of the play, and it caused UNC to have to dump and really turn the puck over.
Negated what could have been a good scoring chance. NC State will break in with it. Here's Sun trying to play it to the middle. That one deflects up in the air. Lapani slaps it back deep past Patterson and all the way around the wall. It'll be left for Kyler Sun at the blue line.
He'll put it off the glass and into the netting. Face-off will stay in the Tar Heel zone with exactly 16 minutes left in the second.
And we're going to get a look at what happened behind the play. Lapani and Gutman. It was in the near corner, behind Roberts. This will be a great look. They're just on the ground with each other. I didn't even see this at all, Chris. It looks like Lapani's just sitting down. He's maybe sitting on Gutman a little bit. Gutman trying to get up. Lapani said no. No call, though.
Shot off the face-off block. Good chance for Aiden Rady. Deflects out of the zone, and Sodden will sweep it right back in. Shots are 18-12 in favor of North Carolina. 3-0 on the period. Ice Pack without a shot on goal yet here in the second. But again, even not playing their best, able to hold on to a 1-0 lead at the moment. Sodden circles behind his own net, looking for Govea up that left wall. It's tangled up in his skates, drop back to Sodden. He'll go D-to-D with Thronson. Plenty of time for the defenseman. Stretches things out for Finch, who deflects it on goal. With a little bit of pressure from Aiden Rady, Brown will melt it down. And with 15-16 to go in the second, NC State with an ozone drop.
They're going to run with that first line again, Chris. They've had their trouble. I think, again, it's more a little bit self-inflicted wounds for the Ice Pack. They're actually going to flip sides of where the drop is, but it's a good opportunity to kind of fix those wounds and patch them. But again, the face-off dot, it's just a struggle for NC State tonight.
Darlene chops at one at the blue line to stall things out. Cobber shoots it in anyhow. They're right back out off the stick of Prasma. And the Tar Heels will ice the puck. Oh no, they'll wave it off. The initial signal was icing. Waved off, so play continues. Bouncing puck gets out of the zone. Herman racing after it, putting some pressure on Zajic. Intercepted by Prasma. He gets tied up nicely as he tried to get the shot off. It was the freshman Andrew Pye who disrupted Prasma on a golden opportunity, and now we get icing. But NC State with their best chance early on in the second period.
Yeah, and this is just because of a hustle play from Zach Herman, the captain, and that's exactly what you want to see out of your captain. This exemplifies what it means to be. Maybe a little bit of a high stick there by Herman, going up a little bit high on Zajic, but a great job finishing off by P with a great job playing defense.
14.5 to go in this second period. They'll fight for it in that near right corner. Prasma stumbles down to the ice as he sweeps it behind the goal. Played along by Pye and out. And it will, well, they say it touched an NC State stick, so no icing. Darlene looking long. He's got his captain Herman up the ice, looking for reinforcements. Floats it to the middle, nobody there. Prasma crashing in. But it's Cam Bosch. Gets to it first, can't clear. Now O'Shaughnessy skates it out. At the red line, he'll backhand it all the way down and go off for a change. Smith left for Darlene, looking forward. That pass deflected by Manser, but still loose. Settled down now by Gifford. Looking to the middle, loose puck right in front of the goal, deflected wide. Prasma stops on a dime, looking out in front. One-time try off the stick of Gifford and Hunt. Now Lapani back down low. Up for Smith. Touchdown into the corner. Prasma again. Good zone time here for State. Gifford, high slot shot blocked. Second try, bodied down. Rebound in front. Kaufman a couple tries, it doesn't go. Great saves from Brown in tight. NC State still with pressure though. Lapani, slap shot, saved by Brown.
And here we got some extracurriculars now, Chris. And Prasma is in the middle of it. So is Manser. This was one way to get the crowd back into it for sure.
NC State with 4 shots on that sequence.
Yeah, and that's another way to get the crowd into it too. Great job of a block shot there, but then Gifford another opportunity. Just right in front of him. That's Kaufman. And if you're the Ice Pack again, there's your best couple of chances that they've had in a couple of minutes. And this is after the play. Zajic got it. Actually, Prasma didn't do much. He was just standing over Zajic, and Manser
I think that's doing your research, though. Prasma definitely one of the hotter players on the team. Trying to get under his skin. Lapani's shot hits a stick. Cam Smith played down low. Johnson looking for Ammons in the high slot. That pass deflected, and the Tar Heels skated out. Right through the neutral zone and in. Shot coming, pad save. Roberts, rebound cleaned up by Smith. Good chance there for the Tar Heels defenseman. Another try in front and a stop made by Roberts. Shoveled back into the zone. Tar Heels with a couple of good opportunities now. Turns into a wall battle. Comes loose. Johnson plays it out and absorbs a hit as NC State alleviates some pressure. And was that a good chance for Drew Smith the last time up the ice?
Man, how about though Cam Smith for NC State took away a really open net for Daniel Hu by getting in front. But Chris, in the last 90 seconds now, both goalies really being tested.
Bouncing puck in the neutral zone, glove down by Ammons. He'll be forced into the wall. Hilton takes it away. He'll skate it behind his own net. With speed, looking cross ice, able to connect now with Cam Glonick. He finds Hilton again. And a riser, not sure if it caught the blocker of Roberts or not, but it ends up in the netting, and we'll get a stoppage with 11:59 left in the period.
Well, Will Hilton's opportunity showcases that Tate Sodden was out of position, and Sodden did not have enough time to react. If you take a look at that, just chaos in front. Great little chance right in front of Roberts. A big save there. You know, they're both being tested in net right now.
NC State controls off the draw. Patterson. Cross ice for Gilmore, gives it back, high slot. Patterson having trouble with it. It pinballs into the far corner. Klonick trying to clear, but it's held in at the line by Thronson and shot around. First one to it is NC State. Sodden through traffic, deflected on goal. Saved by Brown to clean up his own rebound. The Tar Heels clear out to center ice. It's now NC State offside. Patterson touching that one inside the blue line.
Yeah, that puck just crossed before Patterson got a touch to it, but the game's opening up in terms of offense, Chris, and a really good bit, and a lot of it really is just not 5-on-5, maybe a 3-on-2, maybe a 3-on-3, 4-on-3. The numbers advantage, both teams are going with it very quickly.
That'll be a center ice face-off. Johnson up against O'Shaughnessy, who wins it straight back to his goaltender. Carolina will start the breakout. Floated into the neutral zone. Glove down by Copper. O'Shaughnessy forcing his way into the zone up the right side. Looks across, getting a stick to it, Rady, or else it was Camboche all alone. Tar Heels still with the pressure. O'Shaughnessy back up top. He's got Manser. Knocked away from Manser by Finch. Govea picks up the loose puck, looking for Rady up ice, and it's through his skates. Now Manser. Looking across for Cobber, misses his mark. NC State's got it. Forward for Govea, it's through his legs. And now the Ice Pack will have to head back down on the icing call.
UNC had a prime opportunity. Camboge wide open, calling for the puck as he skated from the blue line into the slot, into the face-off circle. But the pass just could not get there. A body in front, but otherwise, the game's opening up for UNC as well. The question, though, is these prime opportunities with open nets. Can the puck get to whoever's trying to one time and shoot that puck?
10:52 on the clock here in the second. O'Shaughnessy and Govea on the draw. O'Shaughnessy wins another. Camboche at the blue line. Takes the shot. That one's blocked. Pass forward is deflected out. Rady to it first. Absorbs some contact as he gets to the puck, but it'll be Manser flipping it back down low. At the red line, O'Shaughnessy tangled up. Gets loose for Cobber. Handed off Manser. His shot whistles wide. Around the wall, it'll be held in at the blue line by Drew Smith. Now they'll battle in the corner. Loose puck, Rady chops at it. Can't clear. Slapped back down low by Smith. Pass out in front. Deflected through the slot. It'll be collected now by Hilton. He'll throw it through traffic and wide. Here's Gingra now. 10-10 left in the period. Swept along the wall. Cobber pinned there by Payne. Govea plays it around to the far side. Hilton pinching in, holds the zone. He'll play it back behind. Nobody there in a white jersey. Now Mason Payne with Zukowski pressuring. Can't clear as Smith holds the zone. Puck still loose at the blue line. Smith is there, but it bounces over his stick and out. NC State struggling. Knocked down. They say it wasn't a high stick for Zukowski. Gingra now from the far circle. His shot deflects out of play. But that was a really strong sequence for North Carolina, Nick.
That was, and first glance, like, all right, go through the middle. Darlene, great job getting low, but UNC, a second player comes in, from the high slot going into the face-off circle. Quick one-timer, missed the net. No, NC State played that perfectly, but again, another dangerous opportunity for UNC, and it's the Ice Pack on their heels right now.
Offensive zone draw. North Carolina won it initially, but whistle was blown, so we'll redo it as the two teams reset. 9:40 on the clock. This crowd, you can tell, is kind of waiting for something from the Ice Pack here. Despite having the lead, they don't feel in control. Shot on goal. A little bit of a soft rebound from Roberts, but he's able to handle it. And we get another face-off.
And Gingras was skating in a little hard there. He thought he had an opportunity there. Hey, look at this crowd right now, though, Chris. A lot of butts in seats, not a lot of smiles, just a lot of resting faces out there. They want something to cheer for.
Shot from the blue line, missed just wide. Might have caught a piece of someone in front, too. Kyler Sun trying to skate it out. Stripped by Gingras, has Prasma there in support. Sun hit hard by Zukowski at the blue line as he clears. Now Lapani, hard off the wall and out. Tar Heels dictating play right now. Hilton skates it down the right wing and in. Looking across through the blue paint, and it's off the pad of Roberts. Picked up now by Grady. He'll be knocked off the puck by Sun, but Gingras there to pick up the loose puck and play it back around. Grady again. Takes a hit from Sun. Down low, Zukowski. Looking out in front, it's off the stick of Roberts. And now Lapani will play it off the glass. Caught a stanchion, stayed in play. There it is. Oh, what a save by Roberts. A stuffed chance in front. Now we've got a penalty coming up on NC State's Kyler Sun in front. But oh my goodness, what a save by Roberts.
I mean, that had to be instincts there to get that right leg over there. Helmet off from Grady. Big reason why play stopped. Sun was on top of him as well. Roberts has to get readjusted as well. What a fantastic save, though. And again, chaos in front from the Tar Heels generates a prime opportunity. Roberts, though, just playing out of his mind. I think they are going to take Sun to the box here. He also did break his stick. Looks like it's going to be a roughing penalty.
Exactly what it'll be. And you kind of get a look at it there in the background of the replay. But this is a crucial penalty for NC State to kill. They've been able to hold on to this lead for a while. They're getting outshot this period 9-4-5. And they're getting outshot 24-17 on the game. If the Tar Heels get the next goal, you got to wonder if they'll be able to break things open. They have looked really good throughout the course of this game. They win the draw and control to start the power play. Up top, it's Hilton. Cross for O'Shaughnessy, down low, gets past Smith, and now NC State's Thronson shoots it around the wall, but O'Shaughnessy's there to hold the zone. Sauces it across for Smith. Here's Drew Smith. Hilton through traffic, blocked by the glove of Thronson and shot all the way down. 30 seconds gone on the man advantage.
Ammons will come out, Finch comes in. NC State loves to immediately get a change no matter how much time is left in the penalty kill. The second they are able to clear the puck.
Legs can never be too fresh on a penalty kill, and now North Carolina is offsides. And I think they might take this further down. Maybe not. I thought initially I'd seen a signal from the official. It was a delayed call that Zukowski continued to play. But it'll be on top of the NC State blue line. 1:17 left on the power play. So O'Shaughnessy wins the faceoff over Gouveia. Feels dominant in the faceoff circle, particularly here this period. Hilton shoots it in. Behind the goal, Roberts decides to shoot it up the wall, and he'll shoot it out. Great play by the netminder.
Roberts goes to the goaltender across the way. Lucas Brown will field it there. But, you know, you mentioned faceoffs, Chris. I think that's a big story we're not really talking about. That's really where your possessions and chances start.
Here comes Smith down the left side, off the side of the goal. Rebound left behind, and it'll be swept out and down by Sodden. 40 seconds left on the man advantage.
So let's go to those faceoffs, Chris. I mean, UNC's just been dominating them on every side of the ice, but a name that we haven't said until just then, Will Smith, junior from Boulder, Colorado. You know, he had that shootout winner last year, but not a lot tonight.
One last push here for the Carolina power play. Slid through the crease, nobody there to put it home. Here's Gingras. Across, shot coming. Blocker save made by Roberts on Camboche. Another try and a sliding Gouveia blocks it in the near circle and then clears. That should finish off the power play. A big kill for the Ice Pack. And now Finch with the steal. He finds Gouveia coming back up ice. He'll just skate it into the corner. as NC State's back to full strength. 6:35 left in the second. Colleen from the red line sends it deep. Evan Ma behind his own goal, looking to shoot it up the middle and out. It gets stalled out in the neutral zone. Squirts loose for Johnson. He's got space on that far left side, marked by Camboche. In the corner, he leaves it. Kaufman couldn't get there. Now Ansbacher touches it along, and the Tar Heels move out. Played in by Sangster. He'll put the pressure on Mason Payne near corner. Payne plays it up the wall. Pye holds the zone. Down to Hoop. Shot hits a skate. I'm not sure Roberts would have seen it. Darlene trying to clear. Pye holds again. Darlene's second effort. Finds Ammons. Touched along for Johnson. He's going to play it back to the middle. Here's Darlene. They score! Oh, what a play! At just the right time, NC State doubles their lead. It's Darlene.
And that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. North Carolina had about 5 or 6 beautiful chances in front. They just couldn't capitalize, find the back of the net. The other way comes NC State. Beautiful pass from Johnson, and then Darlene skates into the middle to finish it off the defensive man, getting his 3rd goal of the season, 5th in his career, and it's 2-0 NC State in a game, Chris, where they haven't been the dominant team, maybe not even the better team for a good portion of this game, but it matters what goes in the back of the net.
Yeah, and if you're North Carolina, you got to think the frustration is growing as it's steered in on Roberts. He'll cover it up with 5:32 to go. But I think if you're North Carolina, you got to be frustrated. You're out shooting NC State 27-18. You're really controlling play for, I would say, 70 to 80% of this game so far. You've got the majority of the high danger chances, and you still find yourself down 2-0.
27 shots on goal, and they're north of 40 shot attempts for sure.
Keegan Gilmore skates it out off the draw. Cam Smith looking to shoot it in, hit a body. The second attempt.
I think I call icing because it hit Gilmore. It was a delayed whistle. Gilmore had entered the zone.
Face off on top of the the Tar Heel blue line. It'll be Owen Kenny up against NC State's Ben Patterson. Now they'll switch it out. Connie and Gutman as both centermen toss from the circle. Gutman wins it for North Carolina. I don't think I have everything tallied up from this period, but my tally for the period is 9-3 in favor of North Carolina in the face-off circle. Very significant difference. Into the zone. Shot, pad save made by Roberts there on Kenny. Now NC State can skate it out. Patterson to the middle for Gilmore, trying to deflect it into the zone, but Kevin Mott is there to take it back. Little give and go. Shot coming from Plonick, deflects up into the netting and out of play with under 5 to go in period 2.
Oh, and just like how they responded after the first goal, UNC, I think, has done a good job responding after that second goal, getting some more O's-in time. But it feels like the dam is going to break the second UNC is able to find the back of the net. The amount of chances that they've had, the amount of opportunities, they just can't get it in the back of the net no matter how hard they try. I think it says a lot about Robinson in net, too.
There's O'Shaughnessy fans on the try. Still has it, and the riser might have caught Roberts' shoulder as it went over top. Finch plays it back behind for Son, and that was another face-off win for the Tar Heels. And a potentially dangerous chance goes by the wayside. Finch will pop it up and into the zone. That'll negate icing. Rady in on the forecheck. Support there from Gouveia in the corner. It pops loose where it can be collected by Smith. Smith forced off the puck, and a hand pass is called on NC State here. The face-off going to come into the ice pack zone.
Well, we haven't really mentioned that first line a lot for UNC this period, Chris. A good mention of O'Shaughnessy in the first, not a lot in the second. This is a great time to make it known. It looks like O'Shaughnessy and Smith might have a set play off the draw if they win it. They've won 10 of 13.
Fight for it off the draw, still trying to control. A couple of players down. NC State comes away with it. And Gouveia unable to clear the zone. Bouncer in on Roberts. He'll direct it to the far corner. First one there is Cobber. Played around past O'Shaughnessy. It'll be picked up by Gouveia. He's got Finch up the middle. Rady going with him. They'll dump and chase now. Worked around to the far side. Tar Heels looking to break out. Cobber skates it into neutral ice. Nice job, skate to stick there for Smith. He was unable to hold on to it. Now O'Shaughnessy, Tar Heel captain, being bodied up by Finch.
Oh.
They score! O'Shaughnessy from the blue line, and a soft one gets past Roberts, and all of a sudden, the Tar Heels have life. O'Shaughnessy didn't even know it went in.
They mob him in front of the bench. I think Roberts wasn't expecting it, and then it took an awkward bounce into the net. His teammates saying, just shake it off. No, it's just a simple dump. He'll get it in, and just took an awkward bounce. Roberts was there. Just bounced right between his legs, and the way UNC's had their opportunities, it's ironic. They were due a bounce, and on the blue line, and the guy who scored didn't know it went in. I mean, the irony of that, but you're on the board if you're UNC. Maybe the floodgates open up now.
O'Shaughnessy with his 7th goal of the season. He's now got 12 points in 11 games. And we'll see if North Carolina can build off of that. NC State looking for a quick answer. Oh, what a save by Lucas Brown as Prasma directed that pass from Herman on goal. Great chance there, and now UNC back the other way. Gingra looking for support as he stops along the far wall. Forced off the puck by Mason Payne. It's still loose along the boards. Dahlin knocked off the puck. Gingra along the goal line, played out in front. NC State can't clear. It deflects through traffic and high. Cam Bosch down in the corner. Payne knocks him off the puck. Dahlin collects the loose change. Cleared out into neutral ice. Tar Heels still in control though. 2:35 to go in the period. As Prasma loses the wall battle there with Andrew Pine. And Tar Heel forecheck getting back to work. It hasn't been quite as effective this period as it was in the first, but it's back into first period form. Heavy hit in that corner as Ma was knocked off the puck. NC State alleviates the pressure as they clear it out. Icing waved off, and so the ice pack can get fresh bodies out onto the rink.
Yeah, but Prasma's still out there for NC State. He is a little gassed right now for sure. He's been out there a very long time. He just can't get off.
Ansbacher stumbling into the zone. Lost control. Sangster there on the follow-up, can't keep it. And now Johnson moves back up the left side for the Pack. They'll hold up at the top of the circle. Backhands it down low. Prasma deflects it towards the middle, but he can't connect with Kaufman. Now it's Zajic. Under 2 minutes to go in the period. Florian Zajic moving it along. Ansbacher has it knocked away. Prasma looking for a one-timer, and a sliding play by Ansbacher breaks that up. Shot from Lapani hit a body on the way through. We've got a delayed penalty coming up. And I think it is on NC State here. Waiting to see who touches up. And honestly, I'm still not sure. Roberts initially went towards the bench and then came back. And now the NC State penalty box is opening up.
I think it's going to be on Prasma because he saw a stick on the ground and he kind of shot, or kind of just shot the stick at the wall there maybe.
He's going to be holding.
I guess not.
On
and
Prasma.
I think he did that out of frustration because I didn't see that hand up until after he got onto the bench, but the Boo Birds come out and everything's rolling for UNC, and they can really pop the champagne here if they find the back of the net. They've got 1:19 to do it this period. They're going to have about 41 seconds in the second period to do so.
Another important kill for NC State. The lead back down to 1. And now Gouveia being tossed from the face-off circle. O'Shaughnessy will face off against Finch now for NC State. No surprise, the captain for the Tar Heels wins the draw. Smith pokes it back down the wall for O'Shaughnessy. Down low Zukowski. Back up to Smith. Moved across for Hilton. O'Shaughnessy again. Drew Smith now. Down low, O'Shaughnessy out front, quick shot over top for Zukowski. Loose along the side of the goal. Smith with the shot fought off. Loose in the slot, and now it's cleared down the ice by Gouveia with 50 seconds to go in the period.
A great opportunity. Zukowski right in front. I can't tell if that got deflected or if he just missed, but it was a sneaky little look and a smart shot. High quality, too.
Another clearance. 35 seconds left in the period.
He just couldn't find the back of the net, and man, UNC's just creating a lot of chaos in front. 31 shots now, assuming they're above 50 in shot attempts.
We'll have time to press into the zone one more time. Roberts stops the dump in, looking to shoot it out himself. He did it last power play. He'll do it again here. 15 seconds to go. Ammon's putting some pressure on here late, trying to create something. But the Tar Heels break out. O'Shaughnessy already with one. Stripped of the puck by Govea. He'll chip it down the ice and finish off the period. NC State got up 2-0, but it was a fluky bounce for the captain. And, in all honesty, a well-deserved bounce for the Tar Heels that has cut that lead back in half to 2-1 after 40 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes the bounces don't go your way. Sometimes they do. UNC finally got one to go their way, but we enter in the third period the same way the first period ends, in a one-goal advantage for the NC State Ice Pack. But towards the end of that period, again, really after that second goal that they got, and even a little bit before that, UNC offensively created even more and better high-quality chances in front of the net. They're really testing Roberts. The only goal he's given up wasn't even in the O-zone, though.
Yeah, 41 seconds also still left on the penalty kill for the Ice Pack with Daniel Prasba in the box. We've got a great third period coming up, but first, we got the second intermission. After 40 minutes, NC State 2, North Carolina 1.
Hello and welcome back to Invisalign Arena. I'm joined with Coach Rosetto of the Ice Pack. Coach, 2-1. Ethan Roberts led in a kind of a sort of, I don't want to say a soft goal, but What are you saying to your players to bounce back from that?
Yeah, you know, it's hockey. Things like that happen, right? So sometimes we don't get lucky with a little bounce like that, but, you know, we were right in it. We got to keep using our speed, getting shots on the net, and kind of really take back the control of the game here.
And UNC has outshot you guys 31-19. How do you plan on limiting their shot attempts?
So right now, I think we got to, like I said, we got to control that play, right? So for us, stay out of the box, number one. So that's probably a good start. Number two, though, is use our speed, right? So once we control the puck and use our speed, I think we can go away with this. So
players like Prasma, you've definitely seen have an amazing amount of speed.
Yeah.
We saw on the forecheck, just him being present has really changed the game. And then Ammon's goal right on the first shift, basically, kind of changed the dynamic of the game, I feel like. So you guys are starting on the penalty kill for the third period. What are you preaching to your penalty kill?
So I think for right now, obviously we got to kill this one off, right? So that's a big thing right now. If we come out, maybe we can get some energy from that penalty kill, right? But, you know, like I said, one of the big things we got to do is tell, like, Daniel to stay out of the box, right? He's a very talented player. We want to keep him on the ice. He's so creative out there, and it's just like his skill level is amazing. So big thing for us, stay out of that box. So.
Perfect. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Oh, and I'd like to say hi to my grandmother. Hi, Grandma. She's watching from Michigan, so it's her first game. So I hope you're enjoying it. Go Pack!
I was Grace Mata, joined by Coach Rossetto, and we will be back shortly after this.
I would never show my teeth. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's gonna take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Why are sandwiches so much better hot?
I don't know. Why does everyone love summer or hot gossip? Hotter is just better.
Oh, don't forget about hot ovens. Or hot peppers.
Hot springs, hot chocolate.
Hot sandwiches.
Ooh.
Hot soup, hot air balloons. Hot yoga.
I get it. Hotter is better.
Or hot melted cheese. Sorry.
Potbelly, we bring the hot.
Happy birthday, Max.
Yes! I'm Joan the Phone, here to show you 4 easy ways to stay safe online. Come on. We can secure our world when you choose your passwords. Make them strong. Use a password manager to help you along. But don't just use a password alone. Get a call, get a text, or a code on your phone.
MFA really works.
We can secure our world. When it's time to update an app, don't you hesitate. Do it ASAP.
Just like that.
Watch out for offers too good to be true. What? It's probably someone trying to take advantage of you.
Hey, that's fishy.
Let's report it. Install updates. Make better passwords. Think before you click. Use multiple factors. That's how we can secure our world. Learn more at CISA.gov/secure our world.
For each life moment, your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. Your kids may be eligible now, even if you've applied before. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Get started now at insurekidsnow.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
Well, as it almost always does, this rivalry is delivering. 2-1 NC State after 40 minutes. Chris Lehman, Nick Barozzi with you here at the second intermission. And Nick, NC State still hasn't quite gotten to their game, but I think a lot of the credit has to go to the Tar Heels. They have played really almost to a T the game plan that they have wanted to put out there, and it's working.
No, it is. It's unfortunately for the Tar Heels, so it's not working on the scoreboard. But they've been the better team tonight. There's no other way around it. We're not going to beat the bush with it. UNC has outplayed NC State in pretty much every facet of the game except pucks that enter the back of the net. That's really what it is. And the one that they do was a fortunate bounce from the blue line. You have to give a lot of credit to Ethan Roberts for giving NC State the opportunity to still be in front and in this game, because without him, Chris, easily 4, 5, 6 to 2 right now.
Yeah, and one thing that we talked about with the Tar Heels that they didn't do in the first period was get a lot of traffic in front of Roberts and make it hard for him to see those shots coming in. There was a lot more traffic in and around the crease, and there wasn't traffic in front of him when the puck went in, but it did feel like they had a lot better chances when they were able to get traffic in front of them.
And they had a little bit of traffic that first period, but it was NC State defenders, and UNC wasn't doing much to get to stick to puck.
Yep.
This period, several high-quality chances where they got stick to puck with traffic in front, whether it was a deflection, whether it was a great screen in front that the puck got through to Roberts. And of course, that great chance I believe Zukowski had right in front of the net shortly after that first goal that they got. Nearly found the back of the net, just shot it wide. There were about 4 bodies in front of Robertson. There was no way he was going to be able to see that. UNC adjusted perfectly, but they can't get to the back of the net. The question now is how do you solve Roberts? That's really what it is.
Yeah, and I think as you look at the NC State side of this as well, they haven't gotten to their game. A lot of that because of the way that North Carolina has been playing. One thing you can say about the Ice Pack, though, they have been opportunistic. They were able to find the back of the net on their first shot of the game, and then they get a goal from Eric Dahlin here in the second period that right now is the difference maker, even though they haven't been able to carry most of the play.
No, they haven't. And, they're able to get those opportunities. They're capitalizing against Lucas Brown, a goalie who's really made a name known here in Invisalign Arena. Has had tremendous performances. Got to shout him out, too. He's saved 17 of 19 so far. But that last interview that Grace just had with Alex Rossetto, now Alex said something perfectly that they've got to stay out the box. And when their best player, who, quote, is an amazing player skill-wise, is in the box, that's not a recipe for success. It's cost NC State last year. And again, one of their best players going into the box to start a period in a game they're not having a lot of momentum and really success in is not a recipe for success.
Yeah, well, as you talk about trying to stay out of the box in a tight game, in a rivalry game, the emotions are going to get high in the third period. We'll look ahead to the final 20 minutes when we return.
Back here in Invisalign Arena, Nick Perazzi now joined by Grace Mata. And Grace, the first 40 minutes of this game, a lot of the go-to players for both teams haven't really been said a lot. Obviously, O'Shaughnessy has a goal. Granted, it was from the blue line. Roberts just got an awkward bounce on him, but for UNC, O'Shaughnessy, Cobber, Will Smith, I should say, haven't said their names a lot. NC State, Herman, Prasma, Gifford, haven't really said their names a lot outside of the Prasma penalty. How important is it going into this final period to get those go-to guys going?
Goalie coach Rossetto, which I just interviewed, he was talking about how Prasma is such a prominent player, but it hurts him to see him in the box. And you saw Darlene step up in a crucial time where he's a defenseman, but he jumped into the play, which resulted in a goal.
Yeah, and that's something we just talked about off air, Grace, about NC State potentially having to take more chances on loose pucks.
And you see Herman still taking his captain role very seriously, making sure everyone's playing level-headed. In a rivalry game like this, you don't even know what to expect, especially with emotions running high. We've seen a few dirty hits on both sides of the ice.
Yeah, no, I will say both captains, both coaches for each team have done a fantastic job of really both players for each team keeping their levels controlled. We've seen a lot of issues in terms of chemistry and morality from away teams as well as NC State here in this building this season. Both teams, though, doing a fantastic job keeping that level headed. But, third period, rivalry game, 1-goal game, the intensity is kicked up a notch as well. It could get worse.
And you can hear it from the fans behind us. There's boos at the beginning of the game. Mr. and Mrs. Wolf are in the building, so who knows if that might be the difference for NC State.
Yeah, but UNC has done a great job taking the crowd out at times with their style of play. Very physical. They love playing against the boards, and they've really dominated. But NC State, the story going into this third period again, Ethan Roberts and net. How does UNC solve him?
If you're Ethan Roberts, you're trying to clear your memory of the most recent goal. But he has shown up in big games, and this is a big game.
Yeah.
So I wonder what will happen in the rest of the third. I mean, UNC has been out shooting NC State, 31-19?
Yeah.
And I talked with Coach Rossetto about how they're going to adjust to that. And your goal as a forward is to take off-angle shots. Shooting, you always want to shoot in the slot, but making the goalie move is also of great importance.
Yeah, and UNC has found a lot of success in exactly that, getting Ethan Roberts to move around a lot and causing chaos in front. Well, they're playing Brass Bonanza behind us after the Quebec Nordiques and Hartford Whalers may have played last night. When we come back, we've got 20 minutes left of college hockey between UNC and NC State, where the Ice Pack lead 2-1.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
We talk forever about the future. Worry about it, or wish it closer. We try to glimpse the places we'll go. From ocean depths to the far side of the moon. At NC State University, the future is a thing you make. With bright ideas, new tools, and a wolf pack behind you. Tell us where you're headed. We'll help you get there. NC State. Think and do.
When you look at me, you might see
a person with Parkinson's disease.
But if you look closer,
You'll see a warrior mom.
an endurance athlete.
Someone with a lot of fight.
Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson Disease Association.
Look closer.
My spirit
Is unshakable.
Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together to win. We all need a game plan to protect ourselves online. Talk to family and friends so they know how to stay safe too. Create strong passwords, turn on multi-factor authentication, update software, and recognize and report phishing, because online safety is not something you want to fumble. Get more game-winning tips at CISA.gov/secure-our-world. Then share them with family and friends.
Well, I'm looking good. Thank you. Just became a real ID. What's the plan? Impromptu road trip? Actually, the plan is to fly to New York for today's product launch, and then visit the family in California, and cap it off with a girls' weekend in New Orleans. You really can just do all that. Sure, I'm a real ID, so I'm good to board any domestic flight. Speaking of which, gotta fly. Nice. Enjoy. I'll be here.
Be your Real ID self today. To learn how, visit tsa.gov/realid or your local DMV.
I would never show my teeth. Never. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's going to take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
Welcome back to Invisalign Arena. Nick Perazzi here as we get set to start the third period. Hey, the all-new ESPN app has arrived. It's all of ESPN, all in one place. It's your home of the most and best live sports and a whole new way to experience ESPN. With over 47,000 live events, studio shows, and ESPN originals and brand new features, it's a sports fan's dream. Another big day of college football tomorrow, so make sure to check out Multiview and watch up to 4 games at once. The future of sports has arrived, and it's called ESPN.
Well, Nick, we should have a very entertaining 20 minutes ahead. NC State up 2-1. They still have 41 seconds of a Daniel Prasma holding penalty to kill off. The second power play of the game for the Tar Heels, who scored the last goal. A bit of a fluky one from Patrick O'Shaughnessy, who wins the opening draw to start the period. And we're underway. Smith handed off for Hilton. Advanced up for O'Shaughnessy. Stops inside the blue line. Pressured there by Finch. It'll be played down low by Hilton. 25 seconds still left on the man advantage. Zukowski back up for Smith. D-to-D with Hilton. Played to the near side. O'Shaughnessy slides it down low. Out to Zukowski. One-time shot misses. Good chance there for the Heels. Puck bouncing around at the blue line. Held in by Hilton. 7 seconds left on the power play. Behind the net, Sodden trying to kick it loose. It squirts into the near corner. And the power play will expire. Prasma straight back onto the ice. The most important part of the start of the period for NC State complete. They get the penalty kill. Now they need some insurance. Hilton separates Prasma from the puck. Drew Smith trying to clear it up the wall. It gets out into the neutral zone. NC State back in control. Mason Payne skates it in himself. Backhand try. Save made by Brown. Rebound collected by Prasma. He'll slide it out in front. Turnaround try for Payne. He can't get the shot away. Now it's a breakaway as Cobber gets loose. He'll come in all alone on Roberts, and he shoots it high. Good chance there as NC State got a little aggressive. North Carolina couldn't make him pay. Here's Herman. Skates it in. Trying to walk around the defenseman, but it'll be stopped up there by Gingra. And North Carolina brings it in. They're offsides, though. And a whistle will be blown with 18:20 to go. That was a golden opportunity for the Tar Heels.
Oh, that was, and me and Grace just talked about how do you get your go-to guys to puck on that first line. First time we really mentioned Daniel Cobber tonight, and yeah, I think he just went a little too straight in on Ethan Roberts and didn't make him move around a lot. He had a lot more time than I think he realized as well, but face-off circles where it all starts again, and again, man, UNC is just dominating it right now against NC State. It's very impressive, but announcers jinx happens sometimes as NC State finally wins it. I'm sorry, Tar Heels fans, I'm sorry.
Heels will start behind their own net. A couple of soft spots in the ice. Looks like the puck, and we've seen this in the past, particularly at games that are highly attended. You can feel it from the beginning to the end of the game. The temperature in the building goes up significantly. And I think later in the game it leads to some puddling on the ice early, particularly in the third period.
You could say the temperature heats up literally and figuratively.
Clearance disrupted by Kaufman. He'll play it down low. Picked up by Kevin Ma of the Tar Heels, pestered from behind by Ammon, so we'll shoot it all the way down. This should be icing. NC State will get an offensive zone draw with 17.5 to go.
They're going to roll with that second line. Kaufman, Ammons, Reese, Johnson. They got that first goal. They haven't really had a lot to write home about in the last about 30 minutes of this game. But the face-off circle has been a struggle for NC State. They finally won the last one. It all starts here if they want a good opportunity to cushion that lead again.
Kaufman tied up off the draw. Tar Heels able to control. Looking to clear. Ansbacher dispossessed. Here's Reese Johnson. Stops on the hashes. Having some trouble right there along the wall. I think it's a little bit puddly around there. NC State able to hold the zone. Kaufman looking out in front, but that pass intercepted. Zajic had his stick in the right place there. Oh, a misplay there by Ansbacher. Keeps it in the zone. Juicy rebound in front. The Tar Heels cleared the zone this time. Good chance there for North Carolina. Gilmore right back to work, though. Skating into the top of the slot. Loses the puck to Kevin Ma, who sweeps it down the ice. This one trickling and just has enough for icing. Bad break for the Tar Heels. They're going to keep tired bodies on the ice here.
Yeah, Sangster has to come back out there as well. A quick little sneak of a water bottle for Kevin Ma. He needed it for sure, but he's going to go right back out there. Again, a great opportunity for NC State to capitalize here, but they just can't really sustain some ozone time. And when they do, it's just not generating opportunities. A lot of sloppy passes, a lot of turnovers. They finally win a draw on the ozone, though.
Darlene plays it down low. Patterson in the corner. NC State didn't elect to go for a matchup here and change lines. They kept the same line out there. Darlene doing a good job holding the line, but the third attempt for Owen Kenny is successful. And now the Tar Heels can change.
Yeah, 3 new bodies.
Some trouble there. The puck got caught up in a puddle. Carolina with a chance, but the centering pass is intercepted. Keep an eye out probably for the next 5 to 6 minutes of gameplay until the ice kind of gets worn in. There's still some puddles out there. Here goes Patterson. He's got Connie with him, trying to thread the needle. Unable to do so, and Connie gets run into the goal. And now we've got a stoppage as Brown is in the net, and the net is off moorings.
Looks like, it might have been skating hard and got pushed into there. That would have been Kamaj. I hope that Brown's all right. He was down for a good bit for a second there. He's going to have to shake it off.
Yeah, he's just going to kind of skate it off.
He's got to shake it off a little bit. Now we got action between Patterson. Let's see who that is for UNC. Maybe Gutman. Now they made a hit after the play on each other. Right as the whistle is being blown, still playing hard. A couple of words said after that, and now issuing some more. NC State's going to line change. And this is just now. Two of them have some words. We haven't really seen many extracurriculars. They're trying to get this goal back on its moorings, Chris. They're struggling a little bit right now.
I think they needed to clear things out a little bit too. But NC State will have an offensive zone draw. Govea centering Rady and Finch with Sun and Lapani on the back end. Owen Kenny will take the draw for the Tar Heels. Manser and Glonick are the two defensemen. Trickles right in on goal. Brown will cover it up, and now Tar Heels will make a change. 16:08 left in this hockey game. Still 2-1 ice pack.
Well, this could be a little bit of a matchup here for UNC. They're going to roll that first line. O'Shaughnessy's won at least 90% of the faceoffs that he's faced tonight, and now make that, 92%. Wins yet another one. Just fantastic in the dot tonight. If they could keep possession, that's going to get called all the way back down. It might have hit someone on the bench. I'm actually going to bring it all the way down to the UNC zone here. But, I mean, if UNC is able to break out clearly, I'm still a little bit surprised NC State didn't go with the line change fully. But this is a great opportunity for the Heels if they can possess the puck.
Govea and O'Shaughnessy square off again on the faceoff. O'Shaughnessy ties it up and wins it into the corner. NC State gets to it first, though. Govea and Brady play it around. Pitching in Lapani, drops it off for Finch. Slapper through traffic, kicked away by the pad of Lucas Brown. Now the Tar Heels break out. Forward by Camboche. Shot off the glove of Roberts and into the corner. NC State will collect. There's some pressure in the corner. Deflected up and out by Finch. He's going to chase it down in the neutral zone. Looking to the middle, but Camboche shuts that down. As Aiden Brady was there. Speaking of Brady, behind the net, he'll take the puck. gets stuck there. Camboche puts a body into him. Now Finch looking back to the blue line for Kyler Sun. Has some trouble with it, poked away by Copper. NC State able to avoid an odd man rush though.
How about Copper again making a big play, win the puck back at center ice, nearly took it again for an odd man rush that time.
Sodden lifts it off the boards and out. Bouncing puck, settled down by Hilton and sent in. Tar Heels need to switch things up. Here's Sodden for Gifford. His pass in the neutral zone intercepted by Gingra, who can't connect with Matt Grady. NC State clears it back out. Down by Drew Smith. Looking forward, Grady gets a touch to it, so no icing. Behind the goal, Roberts plays it along for Sodden, up the wall, but Grady's there for the Tar Heels. He'll take a shot wide on the short side. Works all the way around the boards. Is thrown towards goal, hits a body. Second chance for Grady, deflects wide as well. Good pressure still from the Tar Heels. Had the most sustained zone time between these two squads tonight. Another one, gloved by Roberts and held on to this time. A much-needed stoppage for NC State.
Greengrass does a nice job there, gives him a little bump onto his pad. Roberts says appreciate it, but another line change for NC State, and again, UNC just hammering away. When they get set up in the O zone, it's incredibly difficult tonight for NC State to get out back into center ice, and again, they're starting to take the crowd out of things. You know, it's getting a little more quiet, even though we're in the last 14 minutes of a one-goal game, but UNC's done a fantastic job in this matchup against NC State.
They'll battle for it in the corner. Tar Heels come away with it. Zajic at the blue line, loads one up, whiffs on the shot. Second try from Hu, deflects into the corner. Now Ansbacher for the Heels. He'll hand it off, and that will be tied up by Dahlin. NC State comes away with it. Hammonds looks cross ice. Kaufman takes the shot right into the bread basket of Lucas Brown, and he'll swallow it up. Zajic takes exception to Reese Johnson. There's a little pushing and shoving after the whistle.
And Zajic manufactured that a little bit as well, and then a little retaliatory, little half-tried push from Zach Ammons there. I mean, the temperature on the ice is definitely picking up for sure. He mentioned, you know, literally picking up, you know, but figuratively, emotional-wise, it is as well. And both teams know how big this rivalry game is in a sold-out building. One-goal game, 13:48 left, and they got to play again tomorrow over in Greensboro. But you want to take this one because then you know going into tomorrow you don't have the opportunity to be swept, and you could sweep your opponent. But it's going to be about who executes the best down the stretch, I think, Chris, because I don't think NC State can sustain the level of play that they've been playing after the last really 40 minutes of this game, because UNC's going to get one through if they keep that up.
Kaufman unfortunately tossed from the circle after winning a rare draw for the Ice Pack. Now the Tar Heels win it. They'll look to carry it out. That's Sangster. Looking forward for Ansbacher, shut down at the blue line. Now we've got it delayed offside, so the Tar Heels will check up. Gives Dahlin time to stretch things out. Knocked down nicely on the aerial pass by Hammonds. Puck is stalled out at the blue line though. Tar Heels will shoot it to clear ice. Poked forward now. Sangster going after it. Kaufman will track him down and take the puck away. Left for Dahlin. He'll turn up ice. Floating one through. Beautiful pass to Ammons. He'll fire away, and a glove save from Brown. Another stoppage with 13:08 to go.
Gutman and Reese Johnson going at it a little bit after the play, but how about the pass from the game's second goal scorer to the game's first goal scorer, Dahlin to Reese Johnson? Just a beautiful saucer pass across. Skips right in between the two UNC defenders, but Brown with a nice job getting that leather up, flashing it to make that big save.
Patterson to take the face-off for NC State up against Owen Kenny of North Carolina. Kenny wins it backwards, Mansur to it behind the goal. Moved along for Camboche. Tar Heels will push it up and out. Kenny, pestered by Gilmore, pushes it past Lapani, and he'll skate it behind the goal. Circling, turnaround shot, doesn't get much on it, and it's blocked. And it turns into a board battle in that near corner. Pops loose, NC State has it. Patterson around the wall for Connie. Looking back to the middle, Patterson gets a piece of it, has trouble settling it down. Now it's Connie leveled by by Kenny. As NC State continues forward, Gilmore's shot just wide. As back behind the play, Connie being wrestled to the ground by Kenny. Play will continue as Roberts will cover up. A little snow shower, and Cam Smith doesn't like that.
Well, again, that temperature emotional-wise is picking up. They could have called a hand pass there against Gianconni before. He was kind of just shoved on the ground and kept there. But again, the motions are picking up. Here's another look at it. He's going to get it with his hand there. I went off a UNC stick. That's why they didn't call it. And then, yeah, we'll just watch the right side of the screen, just staying down there. Good job by our camera crew to highlight it. Owen Kenny was just not letting him go anywhere.
12:24 left. Offensive zone draw for the Heels. It'll be Copper on the draw up against Govea of NC State. Swords loose towards the goal. Roberts pokes it to the corner. Tar Heels have it behind the net, and a good hit from Govea knocks the puck loose. NC State still can't clear. Forced out by Rady up the far wall. He's going to power his way through the neutral zone. Has two men there. Rady taken down. He's going to be wrestled behind the play as the Tar Heels bring it back up ice. O'Shaughnessy at the blue line, walking in, looking through traffic. It deflects on goal, and Roberts will cover it up. But you can see the temperature continuing to rise as we get later into this game.
Yeah, Rady and Smith were tangled up. Rady thought he should have gotten a penalty against Will Smith there. They don't call it. And then how about the opportunity O'Shaughnessy had right in front of the net? Plenty of traffic. It just didn't find a way home.
So Cobber and Govea on the face-off in the NC State end again. 11:54 on the clock. Tied up. Tar Heels come away with it. Played down the wall and back behind. They'll race for it in the far side. Smith and Sodden there. Through the legs of O'Shaughnessy. Drew Smith to it, takes the shot. It hit Roberts and deflected wide. Govea looking up ice for Rady. It's caught up in his skates, and Smith takes it away. He gets knocked down hard along the wall. Now Finch takes it away. He'll step away from pressure, can't clear though. Hilton at the blue line. 11:25 to go as Hilton turns with it. Looking for space and time, deflected on goal. Roberts gets a piece of it again. Play out in front, denied by Sodden. Second try, bouncing in the slot. Govea gets to it, and he'll clear it down the ice.
Much needed change for NC State. Rady with the retaliatory hit against Will Smith. They didn't call it there. They're letting both teams play a little bit physicality-wise, but again, it's been picking up this third period. Here come the Heels again in the O-zone.
Back behind the goal. Bronson plays it around. Gifford finds space to move up. He's got Herman with speed down the left wing. Zach Herman takes the shot. Deflected wide by Brown. Back up top, Payne. The pass from Herman. Glove save made, loose in front, and is popped just wide by Gifford. Now Prasma behind the goal. He'll be pinned to the wall. Payne trying to pull it out of skates and does. Turn to the middle, and it gets through everybody and into the near side. Back behind the goal again. Clearance hits a ref. NC State has it again. Payne tracking it down on the half wall. He'll just float it down below the goal line. Gifford there, looking to the middle, can't get it there. It'll be worked around. NC State, good pressure still. Mason Payne plays it down the wall. Herman deflects it back behind. Prasma in front! Oh, a good chance for Gifford, and he put it right into the crest on Brown's uniform, and we'll get a stoppage.
That's the best shift that first line has had for NC State tonight, both offensively in terms of the forwards and offensively in terms of the defensive men. Great opportunities, and when they're able to sustain that O-zone time, they do it much better than UNC does. Great opportunity to Gifford in front, just kind of shot at middle. Brown was able to corral it just above his pads. But again, NC State, whenever they're able to kind of generate some O-zone pressure, it gets very chaotic. The crowd feels off it. You never know what's going to happen next. And that unpredictability can affect Lucas Brown and the defense in front of him in net.
NC State favored in the shot department this period, 9-3 right now. They were outshot 31-19 through the first two periods. But they have had a stronger third so far. Brown behind his own net. Sweeps it along for Cam Bosch. His breakout pass intercepted by Hammonds at the blue line. Stopped up there. It'll be floated across for Mansur. He goes rink wide off the skate of Daniel Hu, who's stripped of the puck. Now Kaufman will shovel it forward. Hammonds along for Reese Johnson. He's in onside. Backhand try wide of the far post. Kaufman trying to shovel it back deep. At the blue line, it gets out, poked back in by Payne. NC State has to come out. You can feel the tension in the crowd as well as one mistake can change this game. Here's Kaufman. He'll just sweep it in and go after it around Camboche, who wrestles him to the ground. NC State still with it. Payne throws it back behind the goal. Kaufman trying to play it out in front, and Brown is there. Little contact from Johnson, and that is going to be unacceptable in the eyes of the Tar Heels, and Johnson wrestled down by Mansour. We're going to have, I got to imagine some penalties on this play.
Yeah, Kaufman's the one that kind of got dragged into it as well. Johnson's got the helmet on. He is red hot right now. Yeah, you're right, Chris. We're going to see several players go. I think someone may be hurt for UNC the way they're pointing at the bench. Yeah, it's like someone's hurt. It might be Lucas Brown.
He's
hurt on his
saying,
knee.
no, he's fine. He's calling it off. And it was a little bit of contact from Johnson. Mansour, and looks like it is Will Smith in the penalty box for North Carolina.
They're going to put
Reese Johnson
there.
will go in for NC State. Well, now Smith will be pulled out of the penalty box. I think we're going to get matching penalties here.
Yeah, I was going to say Smith was, coming in at the end. He also might be a little bit hurt right now, the way he's coming over to the bench. But, Johnson had his helmet come off. He was taken down, Chris, and he was red hot. It might have been something that he did to the goaltender. That's why he's in the box. Otherwise, maybe he did something in that scrum that we couldn't see that. The other extracurriculars were happening in front of us.
I think Johnson goes because it was his contact with Brown after the whistle that started it. Yeah. And then, I could only see the beginning of it, but Mansour immediately had an arm around him from behind, bringing him down to the ice. So I think it's easy to see why the two guys in the penalty box right now are there. I think NC State would be arguing for an extra one. And actually, there really wasn't based on that angle. I didn't see a whole lot of contact from Johnson.
Well, we can take one more look at that from that angle. I mean, someone hits Brown, though, and Brown kind of went over awkwardly there. They're still trying to sum things up in front of the PA announcer, Wade Minter. Well, Zach Herman out there with Florian Zajic waiting word from the officials. They're telling Wade Minter now. And this crowd loved it, though. I will say that. The energy has been impalpable tonight. But we're still waiting the official calls and rulings here. One thing I do want to know, Chris, is that NC State's caught up a little bit in shots on goal, 34-28, and it's really been the last couple of minutes of pressure that they've had on Lucas Brown and the UNC defense. And now we get an explanation to Tim Healy. Got the box is open again for NC State here. Not sure if they're going to add one more.
And Healy's not happy with the explanation right now. The first penalty up there is 2 minutes for Reese Johnson. Mansour still in the box. We're waiting to see if they've added to that. But I think Tim Healy is arguing, and I'm not 100% sure, and he doesn't have the ability to see that behind the net camera angle we saw where it looked like a whole lot of contact from Johnson. And I think that's, based on the reaction from North Carolina, Coach Healy wants an extra penalty and a power play for his team. But right now, the only penalty that is up there is a penalty on Johnson. And if the only penalty is on Johnson, then I think they missed something. Or if somehow he's got a double minor and it's just a minor for Mansour, the worst case here for NC State should be matching minors. I'm not sure how you end up with a power play for North Carolina out of that sequence.
Yeah, there wasn't much, and then right there, it's just an easy takedown, a hard
takedown. And Connie will be in
takedown.
the box too. So there's two penalties. It looks like, I don't know if
I
one
don't really
was
get
to
what Reese
Connie
Johnson
or not.
did, though. I don't know.
Yeah,
really
I'm
what Reese
not
Johnson did
sure,
there.
and I understand him getting a penalty. The officials don't have access to the replay the way that we do. But I do wonder how they get a 2-minute power play for the Tar Heels out of that whole sequence. That one doesn't quite make sense. So it'll be a power play for North Carolina. Under 10 minutes to go, and the Tar Heels down 1. They'll chip and chase.
They called a slashing, I think, on Reese Johnson. I think that's what I just heard.
Either way, Connie and Johnson in the box. NC State still with 90 seconds left on the man advantage. Up top, Poked along for Hilton. Back to Smith. Drew Smith with it. Hilton again. Not a lot doing for the Tar Heels this power play. Not as much movement as we've seen from their man advantage in this game. Almost halfway through the power play already. Shot coming, fought off, rebound cleared out of danger. Good play in front by Jake Lapani. Saved the goal there. And now halfway through the penalty kill for NC State. Here comes O'Shaughnessy. High slot shot kicked away by the toe of Ethan Roberts. Lapani in the corner. Finds Kyler Sun, his clearance, body down, but it'll be cleared out on the second effort by Ammons as he races after it. Camboche to it for the Heels. Loses it right under the stick of O'Shaughnessy, who dumps it in and goes off for a change. 34 seconds left on the power play. And the clearance looks like it hit somebody on the Tar Heel bench.
Looked like
and NC State's going to get a bad break here. That's going to bring the face-off back into their zone, at least right now, before the officials come together.
I think it might have.
Because it was cleared from the NC State zone.
It might have hit a stick that's leaning out over the edge there.
And they will change it. They'll switch things up.
Because Zukowski immediately sat down after the refs conversated. I think it went off his stick, and his stick is over the boards in play. So I think that's exactly what happened.
NC State a little bit of a break. They'll restart play with 28 seconds left on the power play. They'll force North Carolina back into their own end here. Good forecheck from Hammonds. 17 seconds left on the penalty to Reese Johnson. Carrying it in. Floats it down low. Cobber after it. They'll sweep it along the wall. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and a miscommunication clears the zone one more time. And NC State back to full strength, just under 7 minutes to go.
Didn't really like that power play from UNC. The first minute, only got one shot, and it really wasn't a lot of movement the first 45 seconds. Then the other way, they just didn't really get a lot of players moving again, and then just a couple of bad passes there. They've had 2 decent-looking power plays. That one was by far their worst, though. I would have liked to see a little bit more urgency down 1 late in the third.
Here goes Herman in transition after the Tar Heels turn it over at their offensive blue line. Swung around for Gifford, back behind Prasma. His pass deflected up in the air. Herman has trouble settling. And North Carolina takes it over, but a pass off a skate gives the Ice Pack a chance. Here's Herman. Swung to the net, deflected wide by Prasma. And the Tar Heels back in control. Ansbacher hustling out of the zone. Stripped of the puck by Darlene. He'll shoot it in. Herman in on the forecheck. He'll pressure Zajic into the corner. Florian Zajic ties him up. Ansbacher knocked off the puck by Prasma. Back to Payne. Deflected by Herman on the shot. Wide again. A couple more good chances for the Pack.
Well, that was a prime opportunity for NC State in front, because once Prasma made that hit, 2 UNC players collided with Prasma. There was 3 in that corner, and the middle of the ice was wide open for the Ice Pack. They just couldn't get the puck there in time, but we talk about emotions. That involves it too, getting out of position to make another retaliatory hit to defend your teammate. That can cost you positioning battles and leave someone open in front.
5.5 to go. Neutral zone battle. Tar Heels pop it into the NC State zone, but not very far. Stopped up on the breakout, though. Will Smith carrying it in for the Heels. He'll lug it behind the net. Knocked off the puck by Payne. NC State trying to get to it in the corner. Poked along by Darlene and out. Now Gilmore goes down, and a penalty on the Tar Heels. And Gilmore in a little bit of pain as he gets up.
From here, it didn't look like much contact, but obviously there was something the way he went down. It's going to be 2-on interference on Hilton. And that's the last thing the Tar Heels needed, was to go out on the penalty kill with 5:07 left. We're going to get a good look here. It's going to be right about in the middle of your screen.
Just clipped him.
Yeah. I don't know about that one. I don't think I personally. It's a call.
Contact,
yeah,
but it is technically a trip. And I think after the reaction of head coach Tim Healy to the way the last set of penalties shook out, that might have factored in a little bit as well. But this is a big power play for NC State.
If that took place about 7 minutes ago, I don't think they call that. The way they officiated this game, I think with the temperature heating up emotionally wise, I think that's why they made that call there.
NC State controls to start the power play. Down low, Govea behind the net. He'll look things over. Pressured there by Smith, who knocks it loose, and it'll be cleared by O'Shaughnessy into his own bench. That'll keep the face-off in the offensive zone for the Ice Pack.
There's the second power play for NC State tonight. The first was early in that first period. Had decent looks, but a lot of the time they were going back in their own zone, chasing it. It's a prime opportunity to kind of put that dagger in. They're going to make Zajic go back out there, actually. They're going to take Andrew Pye off.
Govea and O'Shaughnessy on the draw. Govea won it too well, actually elevated it out of the zone, a free clearance for the Tar Heels. They can get that change they want now.
Yeah, Pye will come out there now, and so Zajic comes back off, so all for nothing pretty much.
Prasma brink wide for Herman. He'll walk it into the zone. Looking down low, that one's denied as Herman tried to connect with Johnson. And NC State will have to restart again. 1:20 left on the man advantage. 4:25 left in the game. NC State with a 2-1 lead. Here comes Herman. As he gets to the blue line, he thought about dumping it, carries it in, takes the shot, fought off loose in front, Prasma on the rebound, and it's 3-1.
Well, I was going to say, as Prasma taunts to the UNC bench a little bit as he skates off there, he's got to be careful. I was going to say, you can't play to lose if you're NC State right now. You've got to play to win. You've got to try to go get this goal, and that's exactly what they do. UNC thought Govea entered offsides. They don't call it, and then just a fortunate bounce for NC State. It seems like they've gotten 9 out of 10 bounces. The one they didn't was O'Shaughnessy's goal, but a huge dagger into the heart of the Tar Heels. They've responded well after previous goals, though. Can they do it again now down 2 with 4 minutes to go?
NC State back on the attack after the power play goal. Pass to the slot from Kaufman, deflected away. Smith able to hold his own, but the second clearing attempt is out for the Tar Heels. Smith back after it. Needed to with Lapani. Played forward. Kaufman going to chase this down. No icing on the play. Camboche there on the defense. Mansur intercepts. Up for Zukowski. His breakout pass taken away by Hammond, shoveled back in, and Camboche carries it out once more. Nice job at the blue line by Gingra to hold the line. He'll walk it in. 3.5 to go. Keep an eye on Brown in the next minute or so. I gotta think he'll be looking to the bench with a 2-goal deficit. Centering pass. Doesn't get through. Brady down to his knees. Sweeps it along for Gingra again. Play catch with Zajic. Defenseman walks the line, back to Gingra, top of the circle, shot blocked by Lapani, who went down to make the play. Zajic takes the shot from the point, blocked in traffic, second try misses high and wide. Good pressure from the Tar Heels, getting back to their game. They're starting to run out of time, 2:50 to go. 3-1 lead for the Ice Pack. Brown still in the net. Here's Ammons going after it. Brady there for the Heels. Knocked down as he finds Zajic into the zone. Zukowski now. Brown, quick glance at the bench, but he'll stay for now. Tar Heels do have control, but a deflection on a pass exits the zone. Have to restart. Cobber carrying it in, and he's offsides. With 2:24 to go. And again, Brown looking at the bench. He's going to start.
Probably going to
start a little bit further out.
Yeah.
I think if the Tar Heels can get control and gain the zone quickly.
And he's being told to come out further right now, but I mean, right now for UNC, a lot of dejected looks on their face when they come off. Couple players coming off the ice, just disappointed. Now, there's still 2:24 in this game. They've had plenty of prime opportunities. Now, why not get 2 in the next 2 minutes if you're the Heels? You've got to have a lot of optimism here. Assuming a dump and Brown goes, and then, yep, he's going.
He's going to the bench as the Tar Heels bring it in. Pass to the slot, taken away. NC State will chip it out. Zukowski, the extra man out, has some trouble handling it, but has some help as well from Hilton. His pass, though, intercepted. Rady sweeps it back into the zone. And it'll be Kevin Ma who takes control. Breakout pass. Rady stepping in front of Will Smith. Smith able to dispossess him, though. Down to 1:50 left. Tar Heels need to get cooking on the offensive end here. Zukowski steps away from one hit, loses control of the puck, though, and now Austin Finch will float it back out for the Pack.
Yeah, they just can't get anything sorted right now with that extra man. It seems like the extra man's taking away a lot of their space and a lot of their passing lanes.
NC State can't clear. Shot in, deflects off the stick of Darlene and over top. Finch looking to clear and does. This one is, will it? It'll just have enough for icing as the Heels hustle back, 1:18 to go. But that's the second time now that Finch has done a really good job just making the simple play. Don't try and get to a position to score on the empty net. You don't need it. Just get the puck out, kill clock, and take time away from the Tar Heels, who it looks like are going to use their timeout here. 1:18 to go, 3-1 NC State right now.
Yeah, Zukowski and O'Shaughnessy down on a knee right in front. They need a quick breather or two for sure. They've been out there a lot, but again, Chris, and it seems like since NC State went up 3-1, UNC just kind of had a dejected look on their face. It seems like they lost a lot of energy. And again, there's still 78 seconds in this game. They've got time. They're trying to get something going. Gingra communicating with head coach Steve Rice. See if they can get a play set up. This seems more of just a breather for UNC to get right now. They absolutely need it, but you got to talk about Ethan Roberts in net tonight, Chris. NC State's helped him out the last 20 minutes or so. 35 of 36 saves today. Another impressive performance from
They
the
already had a
goaltender.
.933 save percentage coming into this game, and it's going to improve.
Came in allowing 2.61 goals per game, 3-2-1 record. And if barring a miracle for UNC, he'll go to 4-2-1. But again, still time left. We've seen crazier things happen in this building.
O'Shaughnessy and Herman, the two captains, will square off on the faceoff. O'Shaughnessy wins it. He has been dominant on the faceoff dot tonight. Shot off the stick of Robertson up in the air. NC State cleans up the loose change. Try and force it out. A second effort to the neutral ice. Hilton back forward. Zukowski chips it in. O'Shaughnessy chasing it down. And in the corner, they'll drop it back, but it's intercepted by Rady. His clearance is knocked down by Hilton, who backhands one off a stick and over the net. Rady again looking to clear. This one bouncing around, and it will skitter just wide of the net. And NC State ices the puck again with 45.5 seconds to go.
I don't think O'Shaughnessy skated faster than he just did there. I mean, that is, if you're a coach, that's exactly what you want to see from your captain. 2-goal deficit, 45 seconds net empty. Him as well as Will Hilton just had phenomenal hustle there to the puck. Again, down 2 goals late. And that's what you want to see. The game's not over. You play hard through the final whistle. And
now NC State's going to use their timeout. They've got some tired legs out there. And they want to get more rest. And I think with the timeout, they may also be able to make some changes.
Yeah, and you make you be conservative here. That's the word I'm trying to look for. You're being conservative here, and you're playing it safe. 2 goal again. It's 2 goals, but it easily can be solved. These NC State come back down 2 in 4 minutes. There's 45 seconds left, but you want to be on the safe side than the sorry side.
Exactly.
And one thing to note, Chris, 45 seconds again. It's a very physically tolling game for both teams. Now they've got to take for NC State about a 75-minute bus ride to Greensboro. UNC, I believe, about 50 minutes, maybe 45, over to the First Horizon Coliseum. Now it's still not sitting well with me, but you go over to Turningtown, you're going to play in front of a new environment, new fans that may have never seen these two teams play before, in front of the Greensboro Gargoyles as well. And it's a quick turnaround, 2 o'clock start tomorrow. So tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of tired bodies, I think.
We're ready to restart play, and NC State has put some new bodies out on the ice. It'll be Kaufman, Johnson, Ammons, as well as Thronson and Sodden. Same 6 out there for the Tar Heels. O'Shaughnessy wins another draw. Got to get to the net quickly. Hilton with the shot, stuck up in traffic. Rebound pops up in the air, bouncing puck, stripped away. Johnson with it. He gets past a diving Hilton, has plenty of space, and he will ice it.
Well, it didn't look pretty at times for NC State tonight, especially in the middle part of the game. But they're being outshot by 8. UNC had plenty of more chances, high-quality chances. They outplayed them for 75% of this game. But NC State got the bounces. They had the better goalie tonight, and they had the better shot opportunities and finishing, and that's the reason why they're going to walk out of here with a 4-1 victory, ending what really is a 3-game home skid against UNC in this building. Lost 2 last year and then lost the previous season that was finished over in Lenovo Center. But it's nice to get that home win against your biggest rival.
I think you look at the records of these two teams coming in, you look at the common opponents, and just on paper, NC State looked like the team that should have won this game pretty handily, and the score kind of looks like that, as we had a little bit of controversy after.
Gutman shot at the end there.
I think this will be settled quickly, but if you're North Carolina to come in against NC State in this game and really for a large portion of this game execute your game plan and really do everything but finish. Other than the result, I feel like as North Carolina, you have to feel pretty good about how you played.
No, you do. You're just not going to feel good about the last 6 minutes of this game. They went on the power play with 9:02 to go, couldn't get it going, and that's really where the downfall seemed energy-wise for UNC. And then they took a penalty with 5 minutes left. NC State quickly capitalized, go up 2, and then after that, it just seemed like they just could not reel it back. They just couldn't solve Ethan Roberts tonight, Chris, and I think that's one of the biggest stories. UNC had just outplayed NC State in between the blue and red lines, but they couldn't get the puck beyond the red line with Ethan Roberts in front.
Well, a few years ago, after the Carolina Hurricanes and the Washington Capitals played at Carter Finley Stadium, these two teams a couple of days later played in front of 20,000+ fans. And that really kind of sparked a lot of growth and a lot more interest in college hockey and in ACHA college hockey, particularly in this area and in the Southeast. And to see this rivalry continue to be good, because I think in order to continue to grow, you got to have good games. You got to give people the reason to come out and watch these two teams play again. And tonight was another reason to come watch them play again, whether it be tomorrow in Greensboro or next month, right before Thanksgiving, at the Lenovo Center in Raleigh.
Yeah, and how about this UNC program, though, Chris? Because really before COVID, it was an NC State blowout when these two teams got together. For the past 4 or 5 years, UNC has brought the energy. They snuck a couple upsets there, and then they really got dominant, end of the 2023 season, and then into last season, 2024 season, where they swept the Icepack here at home. They only lost 1 game, the Governor's Cup, to them. And if you're the Tar Heels, they built this program well. It's a transition year to D1. But again, you look at the records coming in. UNC 3-5-2. NC State was at 8-2-0-1. But this is why you don't play the games on paper, especially rivalry games, because you never know what might happen.
It was another great game tonight, even though the final score doesn't look quite as close. It was tight all the way, and they're going to do it again in less than 24 hours. As a matter of fact, they're going to do it in about 15 and a half hours. They'll drop the puck around 2 o'clock out in Greensboro, but tonight, NC State comes away victorious 4-1 over North Carolina. We'll be back post-game.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
We talk forever about the future. Worry about it, or wish it closer. We try to glimpse the places we'll go. From ocean depths to the far side of the moon. At NC State University, the future is a thing you make. With bright ideas, new tools, and a wolf pack behind you. Tell us where you're headed. We'll help you get there. NC State. Think and do.
When you look at me, you might see A person with Parkinson's disease. But if you look closer, you'll see
A warrior mom.
an endurance athlete. Someone with a lot of fight. Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson Disease Association.
Look closer.
My spirit
is unshakable.
Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together to win. We all need a game plan to protect ourselves online. Talk to family and friends so they know how to stay safe too. Create strong passwords, turn on multi-factor authentication, update software, and recognize and report phishing, because online safety is not something you want to fumble. Get more game-winning tips at cisa.gov/secure-our-world. Then share them with family and friends.
Well, I'm looking good. Thank you. Just became a real ID. What's the plan? Impromptu road trip? Actually, the plan is to fly to New York for today's product launch, and then visit the family in California, and cap it off with a girls' weekend in New Orleans. You really can just do all that. Sure, I'm a real ID, so I'm good to board any domestic flight. Speaking of which, gotta fly. Nice. Enjoy. I'll be here.
Be your Real ID self today. To learn how, visit tsa.gov/realid or your local DMV.
I would never show my teeth. Never. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's going to take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
Another great chapter in the NC State and North Carolina rivalry. 4-1, the Ice Pack take down the Tar Heels in the first of 2 games this weekend. Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi back with you. And Nick, despite the fact that North Carolina was able to kind of dictate play and play the way they wanted to for a good portion of the game, NC State still found their opportunities. They kept North Carolina off the board for the most part, and as a result, they come away with the win.
You know, sometimes a game of hockey, a team will outplay somebody in every single facet. But a good portion of that game, UNC outplayed NC State in almost every fashion. The one fashion they don't outplay in is goals. And just UNC just ran into a brick wall named Ethan Roberts tonight. And that's really what happened. They outplayed NC State offensively for about 50 minutes of this game. They just ran out of gas the last 10, and they just didn't have a solution for the man they call E-Rob between the pipes tonight.
And we'll be joined by Roberts here shortly in the postgame, but you look at the way he played. We talked about in the first period, he saw a decent number of shots, but he was able to see all of them. NC State kept the traffic out from in front of him and allowed him to see the puck. It wasn't quite the case as we got later into the game, particularly in the third period. He had to fight through traffic to see pucks more. He had to make sure he was in the right position to stop pucks, and he did a fantastic job.
No, he did, Chris. We had Mr. and Mrs. Wolf doing some snowmans behind us. I don't know if you can quite see them here on camera, but I know they're enjoying the win. I don't know if they're going to be there tomorrow. I don't know if Ramsey's going to be there tomorrow either over in Greensboro, but I do want to look a bit forward to tomorrow's game and Ice Pack in general. This is Ice Pack's next home game is going to be against Alabama in another couple of weeks. Day after, it's a game in Charlotte, and then they're home for the Governor's Cup. They don't have a lot of games left in this building this year. But you go into tomorrow, this was a physical game. And for the first 45, 50 minutes of this game, there wasn't a lot of extracurriculars, but it really picked up towards the end. And because of that, I think tomorrow's going to be a really big test, especially with the quick turnaround, about 15, 14 hours to go until puck drop. Big turnaround of energy levels and just kind of playing with your brain mentality, not making mistakes, staying in position, and not taking penalties.
Well, it should be another interesting game tomorrow. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, our own Grace Motto will be with the goaltender, Ethan Roberts.
Welcome back to Invisalign Arena. I'm Grace Motto, joined by NC State's Ice Pack goaltender Ethan Roberts. Ethan was faced with 30 shots tonight, and you guys dominated in the third period. What do you think the switch was?
I don't know. We're up one going into the third. You just go lock it down, and then I'm glad they did that because that goal I let up was not good. So I'm glad they had my back and went out there and scored a couple and got the W.
Hey, it goes through 5 people before it gets to you. So, and this was your first rivalry game appearance. What are you thinking right now? How are you feeling?
I don't know. Just go back to go sleep, do it again tomorrow. We expected a big push from them. Every time we play them, it's going to be a battle, and I'm so happy we won that because if we lose that kind of game, it's going to sit in our head for a while. So.
Yeah, and bad setup for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I can only think what UNC is feeling right now. And like you mentioned, same team tomorrow, but different venue, playing in Greensboro. And what do you guys think you need to adjust? What do you think went well tonight?
I just think we need to play a full 60. We came out, we were so hyped, and we kind of had the jitters. And we saw that. We got that first goal, and then we kind of took our foot off the gas. So we just got to play a full 60 tomorrow, and I think we will, and we'll come out of here with a sweep, hopefully.
Well, thank you so much for your time,
Yep.
and we will see you tomorrow in Greensboro. And I have to say, you came out with a win tonight, and your Blue Jays are winning currently 11-2.
11-2. They were down 2-0. It was so hard not to check the score in intermission, but I'm so happy with the results.
It's a great night to be Ethan Roberts. Well, we'll have more post-game after this.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
We talk forever about the future. Worry about it, or wish it closer. We try to glimpse the places we'll go. From ocean depths to the far side of the moon. At NC State University, the future is a thing you make. With bright ideas, new tools, and a wolf pack behind you. Tell us where you're headed. We'll help you get there. NC State. Think and do.
When you look at me, you might see
A person with Parkinson's disease.
But if you look closer, you'll see
A warrior mom.
an endurance athlete. Someone with a lot of fight. Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson Disease Association.
Look closer.
My spirit
Is unshakable.
Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together to win. We all need a game plan to protect ourselves online. Talk to family and friends so they know how to stay safe too. Create strong passwords, turn on multi-factor authentication, update software, and recognize and report phishing, because online safety is not something you want to fumble. Get more game-winning tips at cisa.gov/secure-our-world. Then share them with family and friends.
Well, I'm looking good. Thank you. Just became a real ID. What's the plan? Impromptu road trip? Actually, the plan is to fly to New York for today's product launch, and then visit the family in California and cap it off with a girls' weekend in New Orleans. You really can just do all that. Sure, I'm a real ID, so I'm good to board any domestic flight. Speaking of which, gotta fly. Nice. Enjoy. I'll be here.
Be your Real ID self today. To learn how, visit tsa.gov/realid or your local DMV.
I would never show my teeth. Never. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's going to take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
Chris Slayman back with head coach Tim Healy of the NC State Ice Pack after a 4-1 win over the North Carolina Tar Heels. And coach, it was a huge night for you guys. first time in the history here at Invisalign Arena where you sell it out before the gates open. You have the rally towels.
3 o'clock.
You have the rally towels. You have the band here, as always. Put together a great atmosphere.
I think, tonight was really the kind of a fulfillment of a vision that a lot of us have been working on for a long time, including PackTV, right?
Yeah.
Having our games on ESPN, having still a core PackTV crew, have the atmosphere in here, and either you could say NCAA Division I collegiate, or you could say, for me, I was always looking for that kind of minor league baseball kind of meets Southern hockey, Southern football atmosphere, and we had that, so we had Wake Competition Center sponsoring the rally towels tonight. We had the band, we had a packed house. And, it's packed because we're playing UNC, but it's not because there are a ton of UNC fans there, right?
Yeah.
Happy that the UNC fans came out, right? Adds to it. But that was a red house tonight. That was 90% red. NC State fans always show out. It's nights like this that really makes you proud to be a part. I mean, you have the degree from there, so it's makes you proud to be part of such a great university and community.
Absolutely. And then as you look onto the ice at how the game panned out, it felt like North Carolina kind of limited you and didn't let you get to what you wanted to do for a good portion of the game. You still led almost wire to wire. What do you feel like that says about your team when they couldn't get to their game and still found ways to make it work?
Number one, it says 42 is pretty good.
Yeah,
Robert's pretty good back there. But we're lucky. All of our goalies are good that go in. And then, and it is credit to, we scored that goal early, and, UNC had us really on the heels the rest of that period, probably about to the 7-minute mark. And it's like, okay, we found our game at the end of the first. And I was like, all right, here we go. And then the second, UNC got right back on it. I think we finally found our game in the third, and hopefully we can carry that over into tomorrow.
Well, and you mentioned that carrying that kind of play into the game tomorrow. You head to First Horizon Coliseum, as it's called now, in Greensboro for this game. It's going to be a really interesting kind of a doubleheader. You play at 2 o'clock, then you've got the Gargoyles and the Reading Royals at 7 o'clock after. It's a dual ticket. You're talking about kind of the whole atmosphere.
Yeah, you have to make sure you buy the ticket through the link. Otherwise, it doesn't get credited to us, right?
Yes.
So that's important. But, the other thing I want to talk about is bringing this game to Greensboro. We are 2 banner charter ACC institutions. To me, in my heyday growing up, the ACC tournament is about being at Greensboro. And I'm a New Yorker, right? Just like the Big East tournament is about being at Madison Square Garden. Those are the 2 power conferences. So to me, will always be the power conferences of my childhood. So to me, that's what's special there is growing up a kid in New York who was half Italian. So we were following NC State from up there with Valvano, those guys with a lot of letters in them. So to be going into that building as a New Yorker who's half Italian in a place that I watch so much on TV and coaching a hockey game there for NC State is going to be pretty special for me.
Well, as you mentioned, you want your team to carry the play from the third into that game. How do you do that and get a similar result?
I think you really build off. I think when we build off that third, we talk about what we were doing in that third to get there. And you hear the crowd, the kids over there. We had our youth hockey fan tunnel tonight. We just had a big autograph session over there. But yeah, it's really focusing on what we did in the third and carrying it forward.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck tomorrow in Greensboro. But for tonight, 4-1 winners over the Tar Heels here at Invisalign.
Go Pack.